Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Wednesday. New start time, 9:05. Well, it was supposed to be 9, but, we're always late, so who cares? 9:05 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. Welcome to the GRE Experience. No longer the show, the experience. And I'm your host, Drew, and with me, as always,
Johnson from Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com.
And how's everybody doing tonight? We see the usuals here. Like I was mentioning, everybody, RJ, the Brooklyn Savage, should be joining us a little later. He says he's running a little late. He'll text me when he's here. And what we have on the docket is just the usual, talk about the shows, like, the WWE shows, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, of course, Collision. Might talk a little bit about Dynamite.
Well, yeah. Since it just went off the air, I think that would be the fresh thing to talk about, right?
We can do that. Or, do you want to go in order, or do you want to talk about Dynamite first?
We can knock out Dynamite first real quick since it just went off the air and I guess it's fresh. Did you watch Dynamite tonight?
Okay, I tried. I came home.
Well, then in that case, then we'll just we don't have to talk about it then.
Well, no. There's people that watch Dynamite that want to hear your review, coming from someone who's a little bit more biased or a little bit more fair towards Dynamite.
It's okay. It's okay.
But fuck it. Let's talk about Dynamite. So, Dynamite was on. Like I said, I tried, people. I did try. I came home. First match I see on is Jon Moxley versus who the fuck was he wrestling?
Tomohiro Ishii.
Okay, there we go. I had to tap. I can't with Jon Moxley and his weird obsession with wanting to wrestle 50-something-year-old Japanese men. So whatever. But anyways, Justin, take it away. What happened in the match? What happened for the rest of the night?
Basically it was Ishii versus Moxley. It wasn't really about the match itself. It was really about the storyline with Eddie Kingston and Moxley. Eddie Kingston came out in the middle of the match, obviously, him hating Claudio, going back to Chikara. But yeah, pretty much long story short, the match itself was decent at best. It wasn't, great or anything like that. They were just beating the shit out of each other. Classic Japanese match. And, basically, what happened, after the match and a little bit later, was the, I guess like a developing part of the storyline where it included, Renee. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen after that. First, before that, happened, we saw MJF and Adam Cole backstage. Obviously, they're going to be a tag team for this blind tag team tournament, which there's some things I like about it and some things I don't like about it. We'll get into that in a second. But MJF, he's starting to be nice to Adam Cole because, obviously he doesn't want to face Adam Cole again, and he wants to be like, oh yeah, maybe he can win the tag team titles. And so he's just trying to stay in the good graces of Adam Cole. Adam Cole's not buying it. MJF shows a new t-shirt, says, better than you, baby. So, combining both Adam Cole and MJF. But MJF and Cole, they both did, I thought, pretty damn good in this backstage segment with Renee there. But, speaking of Renee, the next part was the backstage segment with the Blackpool Comic Club, Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Before Eddie Kingston came in, Renee was challenging Moxley, saying, hey, what the hell's the matter with you two guys? Like, what's going on? And she was being very anime. Like, I've never seen her this anime before. at least on TV, but never really seen this anime before. Eddie came back and he was all like, well, why are you with this scumbag, Claudio? And Claudio was just like looking at him like, what the fuck's the matter with you? And of course, Eddie Kingston's always mad, and that's just Eddie Kingston. He's just mad at everything he did, so. But yeah, so basically, it came to, Moxley just like walked up, just stormed off, and Renee was, basically pushing Eddie, saying that you two need to get this shit together, or, you guys need to fix this. So, so Renee, showing some anger, and, she's not part of the storyline, obviously, but it's just that, like I like that, this is one thing I do like about AEW is that, like, they definitely, like, if someone's married or if someone's going out, they don't shy away from it. Like, it's not like WWE when it's like sometimes where it's like, it took a while before Becky and Seth were actually on TV together. Now they do it because, because, they're like the power couple, right? But it's like, before it'll take a while before they'll actually like acknowledge that, like Braun Breaker and Cora Jade have acknowledged them being together as of yet, right? They've been together for almost a year now. So, but that's one thing I do like about AEW is that like if there's like a real life relationship, they'll just say, hey, these two are they're married or they're boyfriend girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. So, but I really like that segment, that backstage segment with Eddie Kingston and Renee and Blackpool Combat Club. So. They showed a package of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay reliving their match, and basically at the end, Kenny says, "It's not over. I'll be back," with a bloody face. Then you saw a 6-man tag of the I think it was the JAS, right? It was the JAS. Yeah, it was the JAS 2.0 and Dan Garcia versus Vikingo, Keith Lee, and Orange Cassidy, and just a random tag team that was thrown together with these three. Well, on I think it was Rampage. Basically the challenge was offered by the JS, and Orange Cassidy was like, "Oh, I just need a tag team partner." How he just lazily just does everything, and he just points at Keith. He's like, "Hey, you want to be my tag team partner?" Keith Lee said yes, and then then Keith's like, "Hey, we need one more." Then he just looks at Vikingo sitting down, and Vikingo just gives them thumbs up. So, but this match here, the 6-man tag, I wasn't too big of a fan of it. It felt kind of sloppy at times in this match. It wasn't the best mesh of styles. A couple botches here and there. I mean, it wasn't like, worst match of the year or nothing like that, but it's not something I'm going to remember next week. And, there's some okay spots, but outside of that, it was just a meh match. And, the babyface team wins at the end of it all. So, Chris Jericho backstage with Renee again. Renee's busy tonight. Basically saying, yeah, I'm going to bring the Painmaker tonight, and there you go, Painmaker. Another 6-man tag of the Elite of the Young Bucks and Hangman versus the Dark Order. And the way this match came about was that they were kind of backstage promo, the Elite, and the Dark Order came up to them and they were like, we want to challenge you guys to a 6-man tag team match, and basically they were telling the story of that Hangman, didn't ever since he joined back with the Elite, he's forgotten about his friends in the Dark Order, and Alex Reynolds was like, well, how'd you forget about us? And no one else wanted to be your friend when you're at your most lowest, and we were your friends, and and pretty much like you just forgot about us, and there's just feels of a true person that you are. So that was the senses of this match, but this was a damn good 6-man tag match. Young Bucks did their stuff in this match here. Heyman looked good. Evil Uno looked pretty decent here. Alex Reynolds, I think he's very underrated. John Silver, I think he's underrated as well. Ended up being a good tag team match overall. Of course, the babyface wins. The babyface team wins, and then you got the Blackpool Combat Club to come back out there with Takeshita. attacking the Young Bucks and the Hangman. Moxley drilled Hangman with the screwdriver, and Don Callis was out there. And basically, long story short with that, Eddie Kingston, of course, he came back out there from earlier tonight. And July 17th in Boston. Oh, I'm sorry, July 19th in Boston. This is going to be this year's Blood and Guts match. And Moxley said, I'm going to do something that someone has said before, Blood and Guts. And he was trying to do the William Regal. It didn't stick very well. Because, no one could do it like William Regal. But, but Moxley tried. And, and it got his point across. We're going to get the Blood and Guts match on July 19th. So, backstage with Adam Cole and MJF again. Earlier, MJF in the first segment say like, "Hey, I want to take you to now in town. Hey, I want to try to get to know you. This and the other." Adam Cole said, "Well, hey, I'm just gonna say hi to a few people first, and then we can go." Right. Then back to the second version of this segment. Roderick Strong was there with Adam Cole, and Adam Cole said, "Hey, good luck against Samoa Joe in the Owen Hart Invitational Tournament." And basically, MJF comes back and he says, "What's up, generic white guy?" He was talking about Roderick Strong, which I thought was pretty funny. So, so basically, Adam Cole and MJF, they're gonna have a bit of a bromance for the next few weeks for this tag team tournament. And we'll see. Obviously, if they made the "I'm better than you, baby" t-shirts, this is gonna go on for a couple of weeks before the Wembley show or whatnot. So, next we had Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy turned heel on Saturday rather. Sunday. I'm sorry, Sunday. Jesus, on Sunday, and came out and he started to do his first heel promo. Now we haven't reviewed we haven't reviewed the pay-per-view from Sunday as of yet.
Yeah.
I am for this Jungle Boy heel turn. I think he needs something. I like him as a babyface as well, but he just needs something because it just seems like he's not going anywhere as a babyface right now. Like he's not really being put into a position where he's accelerating up the ladder. With this here, this has potential. So far though, the promo that he cut wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad promo at all. I thought the promo delivered what it needed to deliver. But as of right now, this first promo at least, it sounds forced. He sounds like he's forcing it. He just said a few good lines in there. He was like, "You're never gonna hear, that song again that I come out to, Tarzan Boy," which kind of hurts my feelings a little bit because I love that song, but neither here nor there. But he basically said, I'm begging the hottest bitch here. He said, "I'm begging the hottest bitch here in this arena," which I thought was like, "Which girl, bitch?" But he got the point across. He got the point across in the promo. It sounds forced. What he said was, the words that he said was good. It just sounds forced. Hopefully he can rectify that and sound a little bit more natural going forward. After that, he was talking about Hook and, saying that Hook is a fraud and, I made Jungle Hook and this and the other. Hook came out, chased after Jungle Boy, which led to backstage. Jungle Boy dove headfirst into an SUV and then, they drove off. So, overall, thumbs up segment. The only thing I would just say is that, Jungle Boy just sounds a little bit forced right now, but I'm pretty sure he can rectify that. Your second to last match, Ruby Soho versus a local jobber from, they were in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And, basically, Ruby Soho beats the jobber here with the lockjaw, Britt Baker's lockjaw. It was supposed to be Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker tonight for the Owen Hart Invitational, the women's side of the bracket, but just like Adam Cole, who did not wrestle at Forbidden Door, neither does Britt Baker tonight. I guess they both got sick. I don't know if it was a COVID thing, like a COVID protocol type of thing. I don't know, but speedy recovery to Britt Baker. Hope she's okay. But yeah, pretty much after that, just a generic promo from Ruby Soho. Just one thing I want to point out real quick is that you got the social outcast right, which Soraya is supposed to be the leader, right? But Toni Storm is the champion right now, the AEW Women's Champion. To me, right now, and it's not breaking news or anything, but to me, Toni Storm just seems like another woman, even though she's holding the title. Mm-hmm. She doesn't feel like she should be the leader, but in all actuality, she should be the leader, but she's not. But and it's unfortunate. She just feels like another woman on the roster instead of being the champion. And granted. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, to be fair, who else besides Britt has actually felt like the women's champion in the company?
Sheeta, when she had it, she felt like the women's champion for a little bit.
Okay, I actually like Sheeta. I like Sheeta, but it's like when she was the women's champion, all I remember from her reign was her being afraid. Or her like sitting down in the front row whenever they were doing they were doing those shows where they would have like the wrestlers in the audience.
Jamie Hayter for at least for a little bit. Donna Rosa when she first won it. Well, no, never mind, because she had no fucking promos.
Nope. I think she only had like 15 minutes worth of promos in that reign that she had.
Yeah, I mean, really, to me, it's just Sheeta and Britt Baker that actually felt like champions, man. Jamie hit her for a little bit, like her first month or so, but Toni Storm's been champion for almost a month, and hasn't. That's AEW's weakest part is their women's division. I mean, but I'm not telling any news there with that. Like it's like
their women's division and not booking anyone that's not booking anyone that looks stronger than Britt. We'll just put it that way.
Do they have anybody stronger than Britt, though?
Well, they need to. That means, who else have they booked better than Britt? I mean, if you're going to put the title on somebody, you need to book them better.
Yeah. No one's been booked better than Britt Baker.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, is that Britt is the boss's favorite wrestler, or one of her favorite wrestlers. One of his favorite wrestlers, I mean. It's just like, right. Rosa should have been your next big, star, but just, that's a long story in itself. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, for sure. Where is it? Okay, this right here. Now they're doing this blind eliminator tag team tournament. The winner of the tournament gets to become the new number one contenders for the tag team titles, right? So we already got MJF and Adam Cole as teammates. It's supposed to be if it's blind eliminator. It's kind of far-fetched, right? If it's supposed to be all the names from the men's wrestlers in AEW, just drawing names out of a pad or out of a thing or whatever, right? I understand why they're doing this for obvious reasons to rekindle their rivalry. But at the same time, it's unrealistic to me. They're going to have, next week on Dynamite, Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy teaming together. Which is whatever. They've been teaming together as of late, but I find that kind of weird that they're a tag team. That they were put together randomly versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Now, Keith Lee tonight, I forgot to mention, he's back to his old look, clean shaven, and he dyed his hair again. So good. He looks fine. He actually wrestled okay tonight too as well. But you mean to tell me that this was blind drawn, that this was, randomly picked? This is what, and WWE does this shit too, so I'm not, WWE definitely doesn't get away with this. They're actually the originators of this shit. Like, if you want to do something like that, okay. Swerve Strickland is with the not the Mogul the Mogul Embassy, right? How come we couldn't do Keith Lee with someone from that faction, right? You could have done Brian Cage, you could have done Khan, you could have done whoever, right? And still have Swerve Strickland be a part of this, potential story there, instead of just directly doing, we're just going to throw Keith Lee and Strickland back together, and hopefully this gets some heat, and hopefully they can do something all out. I just don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. But again, that's just wrestling for you, and WWE does that. If I'm gonna bitch and complain, at Triple H and Vince McMahon doing something like this, I'm gonna bitch and complain at Tony Khan for the same exact thing. So just being fair. Main event, which was a fun main event, wasn't great or anything like that. But it was a fun TV main event. You had Sting and Darby Allin versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. So, it was a no disqualification. It was a Texas Tornado match, I believe they called it, or Street Fight, whatever they called it. But basically, no disqualifications. Chris Jericho came out as the Painmaker, which is basically his Clockwork Orange gimmick. Darby was taking bumps. He took a bumps over some ring steps where he did a front flip over the ringside barricade, which looked kind of silly, but it did its part. Sting and Jericho were brawling with each other, in the crowd or whatnot, and So basically, we saw a spot in this match, which, I was kind of scared a little bit, but on the outside, I believe it was Sammy. I think it was Sammy that was on the outside on a table, and Darby Allin was climbing the ladder that was set in the ring, and that was set to the outside. On the opposite side, Sting climbed the ladder, and Sting told Darby to get down. And Sting jumped from the ladder, which is essentially the height of from the top rope. He wasn't like on top of it. And he dove onto the outside, and he barely hit Sammy, and he only broke one table. Sammy was set up on two tables. Sammy was set up too far. He was set up about, a couple feet too far, like 3 to 4 feet too far. But Sting seems to be okay. His knees hit the ground pretty bad, but I know he's gonna feel that in the morning though. But Sting's a crazy son of a bitch. That's why I love him. But I don't need to see you be doing that at your age, because you can could have slipped, could have fell down, could have really got hurt. Whatever the case may be. But the closing sequence of this match between Sting and Chris Jericho, pretty damn good, I thought. You saw a code breaker. Near fall on Sting. Then you saw a Scorpion Death Drop and kick out by Chris Jericho. Then Sting puts Jericho into the. Then Jericho puts Sting into the to the walls. Jericho. Sting got out. Then Sting puts Jericho into the Scorpion Deathlock, and Jericho taps out. And so Sting ends up making Jericho tap out, and Sting's still undefeated in AEW. Deservedly so. He's one of the biggest stars of the company, and the biggest merch sellers. He needs to be undefeated. But in all seriousness, match was a good TV main event. If I had to give Dynamite out of 10 tonight, maybe. There's some things I could have really done without on this show, but 6.5. I think a 6.5 to a 7 would have, is a fair score for this show. But we'll see what happens at Collision this week. There was a few matches that were announced for Collision, including Chris Statlander and Lady Frost from I think she was in Impact.
Ooh, she was in Impact. She's good. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, she was in Impact. But I don't know if she's still there or whatnot. But it was a fairly decent show. I didn't expect this to be gangbusters or anything like that. But the biggest takeaways from the show is the MJF Adam Cole development. They're gonna have a little bit of bromance for a while. The Jungle Boy promo, and the Blood and Guts announcement too as well. Yeah, so obviously that was coming, obviously, but now we know what the Blood and Guts match is actually going to be. So those three things. Everything else you probably could have skipped on the show, but again, still a decent show.
All right, people, that was Dynamite. Let's get into the other shows. Let's start with SmackDown. That was last Friday, June the 23rd. I mean, a lot of the bigger parts of Dynamite, Jesus Christ, SmackDown was a lot of the bloodline stuff. You know, Roman obviously wasn't there. He'll be back this Friday, and
Vince
of course,
McMahon changed the show too. So there's that.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot. I'm seeing here Sean Ross Sapp, tweeted, "SmackDown got Vinced tonight."
Yes. Yeah. I don't want to hear shit again that Vince is not in charge. So there you go.
But he's not, dude. I'm playing. I don't know. That's like every opening, every like closing of like SmackDown or Raw should just be like, "You just got Vinced."
Yeah, I really could have done without. Actually, I went to the gym on Friday because I missed the workout Friday morning, so I was like, well, fuck it, I need to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I went to the gym because nothing happened on SmackDown. I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible show, but it was a show.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. From what I saw, it wasn't bad. It just what happened. Like, right. Did I need to like sit there for 2 hours like to watch this show? Like, right. Not say it was a bad show, but like if I missed the show, did I miss anything?
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have missed much, but nonetheless, SmackDown started off with the Usos coming out to talk about what happened the week before by super kicking Roman and basically just hyping up the match for Money in the Bank, which is the Civil War Bloodline. I was going to ask you a question about the match, but we'll get to it when we get to the review. So, overall, good promo, as always. Again, if you missed it, you probably wouldn't have, you probably wouldn't have had a bad day if you missed it. It was just... It was.
I did see the beginning, though. I did see that promo, which was good.
Next, you had LA Knight versus Rey Mysterio, originally advertised as LA Knight versus Butch versus Santos Escobar. But again, like we said, SmackDown got Vinced. I need like a sound filter where every time I say Vinced, it's just like a really deep echo. I wish I had that. Rey Mysterio and LA Knight. LA Knight gained the win. Clean as a sheet over Rey, which, is good. Rey's a Hall of Famer. He's a big name, so it's good to see LA Knight get a win over a big name.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because I did not want LA Knight to win this match.
Okay.
I don't know, because that means the chance of him winning Money in the Bank is dwindled at this point. I do not want to see the people that usually win Money in the Bank. They usually do jobs and for the most part they do jobs and shit. This gives me less confidence that he may actually win.
Okay. I don't know. Again, I'm glad he won, but we'll definitely see on Saturday.
Yeah.
Next,
I hope he wins. I hope he wins for the record. By the way, it's just yeah.
I hope so too. WWE Women's Tag Team Unification match: Ronda Rousey and Dana Baszler versus I forgot what their fucking name is. Alba Fire and do they have a tag team name?
No.
I thought it was like Fire and Ice or something. Or am I thinking of somebody else?
You're thinking about Fire and Desire of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Okay. I miss Mandy Rose. She just looks good. Alba Fire and the Dawn, the winner, it takes home all of it. Takes home all the gold. Of course, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler got the win. And they are now the unified women's tag team champions. There's just one set of women's tag team champions in the company. No longer NXT women's tag team champions. So from what I heard, these titles will be defended on each brand. Raw and SmackDown and NXT.
I will be shocked if I see Ronda Rousey in NXT. Maybe not shocked. I take that back. I
don't know. We've seen AJ Styles in NXT. We saw fucking who the fuck was just in NXT? Rhea Ripley, Seth. Why not? And then afterwards, Raquel Rodriguez, who was watching the match up close at commentary, comes out to, it looks like she's about to get into it with them, and then Liv Morgan makes her return. Good to see Liv back. She looks good. I mean, she definitely looks good. I've always said she looks good.
She beat the rumors of not being pregnant.
When was she ever? I never heard that rumor.
No, it was little smouts of rumors out there from non-credible sources. We'll say that. So
right. She got a good reaction. I mean, I've always been very kind to Liv. I mean, I think she's decent in the ring. She doesn't like blow my mind or anything, but she's decent in the ring. She at least tries. I get the impression that she wants to try and not just go through the motions, and she gets a reaction. The people like her. So, good on that. But again, I like Raquel. I just want to see Raquel in a more, I don't want to say positive light, but a more important main role, an important key role on the show.
Right.
And just less of the smile. I mean, she's got a nice smile, but I want to see her fuck bitches up like she used to do in NXT. That's what I want to see. But overall, what'd you think about the tag match?
It was a tag match, and the outcome was expected.
All right, then.
I mean, I don't know what I can say about it. It was a tag match.
I was kind of zoning out during the match, so I'm like,
I mean, well, should we go for hold on this match? We
don't have to. I mean, if you want to, but we don't have to.
No.
All right. Backstage, Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman get into the arena. Ridge Holland gets in Solo Sikoa's face, and then Solo spikes him right in the neck, and almost bruises his esophagus. And then afterwards, Adam, what the fuck's his name? Not Adam Page. Jesus Christ. The Adam
Pierce.
Man, I'm off my game tonight. Adam Pierce.
Former NWA champion, by the way.
Former NWA champion, people. Never forget that. Is checking on Ridge Holland. Sheamus comes in and he's pissed off, and then he later comes out and cuts a promo saying, Solo, I want you. And so we get our main event for the night. Grayson Waller effect with Pretty Deadly, and they cut a promo, and it leads to them wrestling the Street Profits. Pretty Deadly, of course, gets the win, and yeah, it's really about it. I mean, the match was fine. I mean, the Pretty Deadly is good. The Street Profits are obviously good, and they really want to put the gas behind Pretty Deadly, and they're going to wrestle Sammy and Kevin this Friday, I believe. Is it this Friday or the pay-per-view?
This Friday.
Okay. So
we'll hear about. I mean, they're gonna do the pay-per-view live there, but obviously we'll have spoilers about 4 hours in advance. So.
Oh, so it's not gonna be a live show?
Well, remember they're in London, so okay. They're not gonna have SmackDown 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it is live on Friday, but it's just we're not going to be able to see the show until 7 as usual. But spoilers are going to be out there already, so
Right. All right. Yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, fuck it. Why not have SmackDown at 2 p.m.? Why not? All right. Charlotte Flair versus Lacey Evans. Charlotte gets the win. And still continuing the program with Asuka. Let's see. I think something else happened. No, that's really about it. I forgot to ask you, what did you think about the last 2 matches? Hello.
I'm here. I have nothing to say about them. There's nothing to say about this show. There's really nothing to say about this show. There were wrestling matches on TV. They weren't anything terrible. They weren't anything great. They were just there.
I don't know. I just don't want you to feel like I'm excluding your opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, I want to get your. I always like to hear your opinion on things, but I don't just want to be like, all right, this happened. Move on. I want to make sure I'm hearing your opinion. Everyone's hearing your opinion.
Right.
So, I don't want to be rude. And then you get the main events, Sheamus versus Sol Sequoia. Good, solid match, but it was for naught, and it ended ref stoppage. After Solo, what did he do? He did like a Samoan, he did like the Rikishi thing to Sheamus outside the ring. Afterwards, the Usos hit the ring and took down their brother. I like the fact that Solo didn't like run off like a little bitch and actually like fought his brothers like, both at the same time, but they still super kicked his ass. And again, it gets me hyped up for the match this Saturday. So, but again, I gotta ask, what'd you think about the match?
That was SmackDown, everybody.
It certainly was. Okay, so let's see. The very next show was Collision. Collision was on Saturday, June the 24th. It was in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Let's see. Mystery partner reveal. This is basically just like a prelude into the pay-per-view, and so it was revealed who Sting's partner was going to be for the next night, and that ended up being the legendary Suzuki. Naito.
No. So yeah, Naito was Sting's partner, and Suzuki was Jericho's partner.
Right. Yeah. Shows how much I was paying attention, people. This match I did see. Swerve Strickland and Tanahashi was the first match of the night. Decent match. Tanahashi. Again, I know names. Tanahashi was good, even though he's clearly not the Tanahashi of old.
He's so old, man.
Yeah.
You can tell that like he's just been wrestling for like 22 years straight, and like you know what I mean, just like nothing. But Tanahashi even like 3 years ago was like 10 times better than what he is now. You know what I mean? And I love Tanahashi. He's like the John Cena of New Japan. So, but he's just old now, and there's nothing wrong with it. It just happens. So
yep. And I love Swerve. I like seeing Swerve get time and matches. And of course Tanahashi gets the win. MJF comes out via like what was the fucking term? I'm forgetting shit tonight. Via backstage interview, I guess you want to call it, and says that the only reason he would have agreed to have this match was if it went on first, so he can get out of Toronto as fast as possible. Yeah. So that happened. Brody King versus Andrade El Idolo. Idolo wins by disqualification after Buddy Matthews comes in and Malachi Black appears too. Decent match. Andrade he's fucking good. What else can we say? Like this is Andrade. This is NXT Andrade. This is the Andrade we haven't seen in a long time. And I'll give Brody King. Brody King his flowers. He did a good job as well. Really hard hitting match, and obviously the next match is going to be Black and Andrade, which I'm here for that. So
yep.
But overall, your opinion on the match?
Very good match, man. Brody King has always been that one wrestler that I think is underrated. I think ever since he got to AEW, like people are actually starting to see now how good he actually is. Andrade, I've always been a fan of Andrade. His AEW run so far hasn't been great, but since he's came back, he's been looking refreshed and renewed, and looks like he has a purpose. Now, this is what I need. We all know Andrade can wrestle. Great. What kind of story are we going to put him in? Will he be going after a title? Will he be forming another faction? What is the advancement with Andrade? Well, that's the question I'll be continuing to ask until we'll see it. But as of right now, the first couple of weeks, him being back has been pretty much, perfect, almost. But a very, very good TV match between the two.
Next, Christian Cage came out with Luchasaurus, the new TNT champion, Luchasaurus, for an interview. My favorite.
He was on the TNT title, by the way, Christian.
Which I loved it, by the way. And, he pretty much just says, I'm going to hold this TNT title for as long as possible. And, bashing the Toronto crowd, even though the crowd was chanting Christian, makes a reference to Kawhi Leonard winning the NBA championship with the Raptors and saying, exactly, number 2. I'll call him number 2. Because
he is a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit, by the way. And then makes a Cody...
Again, but without him screwing us, we wouldn't have gone Wemby, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But makes a Cody Rhodes reference, which I thought was random, saying I'm not going to use AEW as a vanity project, after I traveled the roads through here. So he said something like that, but he clearly made a Cody Rhodes reference.
Yeah.
Which I don't see why he would, but I get he's a heel, but I don't see why he would about Cody of all people. But I digress. But it was good. It was a good promo because Christian is fucking good. I like Christian. Between Edge and Christian, I've always thought obviously Edge was the star, but Christian was the better worker, and I thought he was the better talker. Yeah. But I like seeing Christian in this position, and again, I love the evil turtleneck. I love it. I need to get a turtleneck. But overall, your opinion?
Did we need to do this segment? Fun segment here. Christian's a heat magnet. And, when is Luchasaurus going to turn on Christian? Because he's claiming himself to be, Christian's claiming himself to be the TNT champion, and when's Luchasaurus going to be like, you know what, fuck off, man. I'm the one that actually won the fucking title, the title that you couldn't fucking win. You know what I mean? When is that going to happen? So.
Next is you had Willow Nightingale.
I'm about to say, do not disrespect Willow like that.
Hey, I was an honest accent. I do like Willow Nightingale. She's a nice young lady. Willow Nightingale versus Nyla Rose. This was a match. That's all I gotta say. This was a match.
It was just a match. Unfortunately, and I love Willow. But as you guys know, I gotta be honest. I gotta call it like I see it. This was not a good TV match. Now, however, I don't want to blame Nyla Rose, but I will say is I haven't seen Willow. This is one of the worst Willow matches I've seen. So, and Willow doesn't really have many bad matches in my opinion, but yeah.
And then afterwards, the Outcast showed up, but Sky Blue in her. I don't think she was wearing tight shorts. She might have just been wearing pants. Came out to even the odds with a steel chair, and that sets up the match for the next night. So afterwards, you had Powerhouse Hobbs versus Jeremy Prophet. Of course, Powerhouse Hobbs beat the fucking shit out of him. So yeah. That's how you use Powerhouse Hobbs. In the main event, did I skip over anything? No, I don't think I did. The main event, you had CMFT Ricky, CM Punk, FTR, and Ricky Starks versus the Guns and the Bullet Club Gold, Jay White and Juice Robinson. Crowd booing the shit out of CM Punk, and CM Punk loving every minute of it. Yep. CM Punk is basically at this point Bret Hart from '97. Except he's not getting love in Canada like Bret Hart did. But, CM Punk going with it. I'll be honest, I was kind of tuning out of this match, and probably mainly because I saw this match last week. I mean, granted, it has different people in it, somewhat, kind of, but I just, we saw this. I saw this match last week. Not to say the match was bad. The match was actually good. It was entertaining and it did its job, and the heels won. But we saw this match last week. Why do we need this match again? But just my opinion.
I mean, I think it was really just. I think this match was just another tune-up match for CM Punk before he went into his Forbidden Door match against Kojima. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. And really, and I think unofficially, I think the Guns are part of Bullet Club Gold now. Yeah,
I think I saw that where they did the 2 Sweet.
Yeah, and even and can I say it's the Guns? They possibly may have the best interest in wrestling right now.
I
love it. I love it. The spotlight, the camera goes around them, and and now they're adding the water pistols now. Like they boom, spin out water, shooting the guns. I love it. I just wish they could have kept up 50 Cent's Mini Men.
That was actually cool. I remember that. The Guns are good. Their dad taught them well. Like, they get it. They get how to be a tag team. They get how to be a heel tag team. And they're really good in the ring. So, future tag team champions. But that was Collision. Not as good as the first episode, but still a decent show. Yeah. Do you want to go to Forbidden Door, or do you want to save that for a little later and then just go to Raw?
We just keep going in order. Let's go through Forbidden Door real quick. I'm pretty sure that's what most people.
All right, people. Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door. This is why I need equipment so I can make these sound effects, people. But Forbidden Door was Sunday at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, June 25th. Justin, you'll be impressed to know that I actually watched the show.
I didn't think you would. I'll be honest. I thought you probably were just gonna watch the main event. That's it.
No, I watched the show. I watched the show. The stuff that was good, I watched. The stuff that looked like stuff I didn't want to watch, I just had it on as background. So I'll put it that way. But I watched the show. I just watched the stuff that was good, in my opinion. But so there were 5 pre-show matches, which is just nuts. But
but most of them went under 10 minutes. Well, I think one went over like 5 minutes or some shit like that.
But there were 5. I didn't watch the pre-shows, unfortunately. But first one was Tom Lawler with Royce Isaacs defeating Serpentico with Luthor.
Oh, that was a dark match. That wasn't even on the pre-show.
Okay, that was 4 minutes and 10 seconds. You had the 8-man tag, Mogul Embassy versus Chaos in a 8-man tag match. That was 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Did you watch it?
Yeah, fine match. Swerve looked great in there. Khan, I mean, he's basically a local wrestler at this point. It's like I always got to give a shout out to Khan. Chaos. It says Chaos, but it's just it is Chaos. Yes, it is Chaos. Technically, yes, it's Chaos. But Chuck Taylor and Trent, they're not in New Japan no more. But whatever. But I thought it was good for what it was.
All right. Yeah. Next, you had the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament first round match. Athena defeating Billy Starks in 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
Billy Starks, she's been on the independent scene. This is probably like my second or third match I've seen of her. This is the best match I've seen of her so far, but this is the first match I see her with this type of caliber opponent of Athena too. So there's that as well. But it was a decent women's match. Nothing special, but of course Athena is gonna win because she's signed to AEW Ring of Honor. So.
All right. Next is El Phantasmo defeating Stu Grayson in 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
Really like this match here. I thought this was the best match of the pre-show. The funny thing about it is because I've been watching El Phantasmo for several years now, ever since he started in New Japan or whatnot. And everyone's like, "Oh, is that Logan Paul? Is that Logan Paul? Is that Logan Paul?" Yeah, he looks like Logan Paul. Yeah, okay, whatever. But I was like, "Oh, that's just." To me, I was like, "Oh, that's just El Phantasmo." But because he came out with I don't know if you've seen his interest and whatnot, but he was wearing like this vest, and it was like a light up jacket. Think about Chris Jericho's jacket on steroids, just like a light up jacket, just blinking all over the place. And on the back, it had like a running words on the back of it. He has a really cool interest jacket. But Stu Grayson, he turned heel, and he now he's with Vincent, and Dutch now. I don't know about that. Whatever, but it's a Ring of Honor thing. So at this point, I don't watch Ring of Honor. So I guess I don't understand it. But I need to go back and see why he's with this group. What's the affiliation with this group? But despite that, taking that all away as a wrestling match, I thought it was a very good wrestling match. I thought it was the best of the pre-show.
And the last pre-show match of the night was a 6-man tag. Los Ingobernables.
I can't even say Los. Just say L.I.J.
L.I.J. Di Japón. Shingo Takagi, Bushi, and Takahashi defeated United Empire, Jeff Cobb, Kyle Fletcher, and TJP.
This didn't have enough time for me. I mean, Phantasmo and Stu Grayson, they didn't have enough time either. But I just thought that match was a little bit better. Like, if you're seeing Hiromu for the first time, this is not the match that shows his full capabilities. He barely did anything in this match. And Hiromu's awesome. Like, he's really fucking awesome. Jeff Cobb, obviously we've seen Jeff Cobb many times before. If you watch Lucha Underground, he was Matanza, right? Kyle Fletcher, he's on the come up. And TJP, TJP's fucking just tad up now, and he's older now or whatnot. But I mean, not to say that this match was bad or anything like that, but I just wish this had more time, but it didn't for obvious reasons. So.
And now we're moving on to the main show. The first match, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. MJF, the AEW World Champion, versus Hiroshi Tanahashi in a singles match. The match was 15 minutes and 30 seconds. MJF getting the win. I mean, decent match to open the show. MJF winning as he should. I wasn't a fan of how he won. I mean, I get it because he's supposed to be the sniveling heel, but this is just my opinion. So, this pay-per-view is obviously made for people who not just love AEW, they love New Japan. But if I'm a casual viewer and I'm seeing my young world champion having to struggle against a 46, 47-year-old wrestler, and he has to cheat to beat him, why should I give a fuck? Why should I give a fuck about the AEW World Champion? So, honestly, and maybe it was an NJPW decision. Maybe whoever the owner or president is of NJPW was telling Tony, make sure my guys look strong at least. Which I get it in some aspects, but it's just like, Tanahashi, I think they should just let Tanahashi just do the job for MJF. Not saying like job out to him or anything else, but just like have him beat him clean as a sheet and just further establish MJF as your champion. Because so far, from what I've seen, it hasn't been a very good title reign. But that's just my opinion. What did you think about the match?
I thought the match was good. Tanahashi looked. This is the best Tanahashi looked in this match. Out of obviously he looked worse in his match against John Moxley last year. He didn't look good in his Collision match. He looked good here. And that's a testament to MJF. This was an old school 80s type of wrestling match. I was fine with the ending of the match, right? I had no issues with the ending of the match whatsoever. I mean, MJF's a heel. That's what he does. You know what I mean? Win by any means necessary. If this match was a shoot, that will be okay. I was okay with this match. Now, this match wasn't, like fucking, a 5-star classic or anything like that. But this was a decent opener. It got what it needed to get across, and MJF looked strong. I mean, I think MJF looked strong coming out of this as well. Tanahashi, he doesn't, and he took a clean pinfall against Moxley last year as well. So, like, I get that he's older, but at the same time, he's still the ace of New Japan. So, you gotta have a draw line somewhere. I thought this was an innocent match at the end of the day.
All right. Next is the Men's Owen Hart Cup tournament. CM Punk versus Satoshi Kojima. The match, Kojima Lariat. The match is 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, fun match. Again, like I mentioned, if anyone doesn't have YouTube, just look up the clip of CM Punk doing an impression of Homicide, talking about going to New Japan and working with Kojima. And he's just saying, Kojima, lariat, lariat. And there's a bit in the match where Punk has Kojima in the in the corner, and he just starts like clotheslining him and saying, lariat, lariat, Kojima, Kojima. Like I was dying laughing. I thought that was funny as fuck. But
that was hilarious.
Loved it. I love Punk. Again, the match was fine. Punk won, and just he's obviously going to win this tournament. Like there's really no doubt about that. But just first two matches I thought were good. What'd you think about the match?
The match itself was good. But to me, it didn't really matter about the match. It mattered about the crowd and what the crowd was giving CM Punk. Because CM Punk obviously was not loved by this Canadian crowd in Toronto.
Nope.
Not at all. So the fact that Punk was playing into it, what was good. And let's not take away from Kojima as well. He, being at, where he's been and the miles on his body and given his age, he looked good in this match. I mean, he didn't look like fantastic, but he looked good enough, and he looked like a credible threat against CM Punk at times. CM Punk won, which was the rightful decision at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, though, to me, it wasn't really about the match. It was about the between the crowd and CM Punk, which made this match better overall. Now, if this crowd was like in Chicago and everyone was just cheering CM Punk, I think this match would have felt more flat than what it was. So,
right.
But it gets a thumbs up from me. So,
next is a Fatal 4-Way International Championship match for AEW International Championship match. You have the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr., Katsuyori Shibata.
Katsuyori.
Ciabatta bread's fucking dope.
Ciabatta, yeah.
I love ciabatta bread. And Daniel Garcia. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, I did not watch this match.
I already knew you didn't watch this match. So, this match here to me was possibly the third best match of the night. I thought this was a very good 4-way match. It did get a little bit hokey with the in the middle of the match with the Orange Cassidy kicks, but everyone in this match looked good. Zack Sabre Jr. shows why that outside of Bryan Danielson, he's the best technical wrestler in the world. Shibata, fucking great, man. Like I'm so glad he gets a second life in professional wrestling. I'm so glad he gets a second life in professional wrestling because everyone thought his career was dead and gone and that he was gonna be retired or whatnot. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that he's getting a second life in wrestling. Daniel Garcia looked good as well, and Orange Cassidy, as I mentioned before, like when he's actually wrestling, he can put on a good match, and this was a very good match between the four. Of course, Orange Cassidy was going to win, like there was no doubt about that. But yeah. I mean, it wasn't anything like groundbreaking or anything, but I just thought it was a solid match, really, really well worked match between all four of these guys.
All right, next you have the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Sonata with Dookie defeated Jungle Boy Jack Perry with Hook by pinfall. Decent match. Sonata is pretty impressive looking. He looks like a wrestler. What can I say?
I don't want to interrupt you, but this version of Sonata, look-wise, is bland as shit compared to what he used to look like. He used to have like this scraggly blonde hair. He used to have this
I see
this poofy beard. You've seen that before, right? With the blonde beard. Oh god, man.
No, I'm looking at the picture right now. Like he looks like a Super Saiyan, or he looked like a Super Saiyan. Yeah.
God, man, God, man, I knew why he changed his look, but if he would have kept that look, I think that the casual American fans would have responded to him better and were like, "Holy shit, this guy!" Okay, I understand why this guy's the fucking champion, but yeah, I digress. Go ahead and continue.
It's funny because like I remember it was Sonata gave that promo where he's like, "I don't even know who the fuck Jungle Boy is." Like I never even heard of this guy. I thought that was funny, but again, just the match wasn't anything special. I mean, it wasn't a terrible match, but it was a good match. You know, Jungle Boy has talent. You know, Sonata's talented, obviously. What was more interesting? I mean, I'll say for the aftermath after the match. But what was your opinion? And then we'll talk about the aftermath.
Good match. You know, these guys. You know, obviously they didn't really gel too much together, and a lot of these matches too, like CM Punk versus Kojima. Like some people felt underwhelmed. Well, you gotta realize that this is their first match against each other. They never touch each other. And you also got a mention of a language barrier possibly as well. So, you know what I mean? So you got to think about that with these matches. Like, you can't just be like, this match was underwhelming. Well, you gotta add all those other factors into consideration as well. Wrestling is just not, hey, let's get in the ring, let's wrestle, and let's have a great match. There's a lot more than that. But for what I thought they did, I thought they had a pretty decent match. For it to be the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match, I just thought it felt too short. Maybe because, you know, and I'm not asking for it to be like, you know, a 30-minute match, but, you know, you probably could have cut some time off some of the other matches to kind of give this match maybe like 2 or 3 more minutes and see where that would have went from there. But Sonata wins as expected. But but overall, I thought it was a fairly decent showing from both.
After which, Hook is helping Jungle Boy up the ramp, and Jungle Boy turns around and clotheslines Hook. Now Hook is a heel. Or not Hook, I'm sorry, Jungle Boy. There you go. Jungle Boy is now a heel. Like Justin said, on Dynamite, he announced that he will no longer be playing Tarzan by Baltimore. So now we got heel. Is he still going to be Jungle Boy, or is he just going to be Jack Perry?
I think it'll probably just be Jack Perry now. I will like they need to. They've been slowly trying to get away from the Jungle Boy shtick.
Which good.
I think it's just gonna be Jack Perry, which I'm totally fine with.
So, hey, I mean, I'm fine with a Jungle Boy heel turn. It makes sense. You know, you need to give him something because for the longest time he was just bleh. Like he, as far as like a character goes, and like his spot on the roster, he was just another wrestler. But maybe him as a heel helps. So we'll see. Next is a 10-man tag match. The Elite, Hangman Adam Page, the Young Cucks, Eddie Kingston, and Tomohiro Ishii versus the Big Black Combat Cock Club, Jon Moxley, Wheeler Useless, Claudio Castagnoli, Konosuke Takeshita, and Shota. I can't. Takeshita. I'm sorry. Takashita. There you go. Takesha. I'm sorry, people. Takeshita. And Shota Umino. This match was 21 minutes and 25 seconds. I was zoning in and out of this match mainly because, like, I think Takeshita. Am I saying that right? Takeshita?
Yep. Yeah, you got it.
I think Takeshita is talented. He has a look. He can work. So I have no problem with him. Everybody else in the match, I have problems with for obvious reasons. And it's just like,
what did she do to you?
He did everything to me. He just doesn't know it. Eddie Kingston, again, I like Eddie Kingston, good promo. I don't really dislike him. I don't really hate anybody in general. Hate is a very strong term, so I don't use hate a lot, especially for like wrestling, but like, or wrestlers in general. But if there's one thing I do hate in wrestling, I am so sick and tired of seeing wrestlers do the whole "I'm gonna put my arms behind my back and I'm waiting for you to hit me" shtick. I am so sick and tired of that. Stop doing that. It's not cool. And when fucking Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston were doing their I'm going to be the tough guy shtick and I'm going to do my Japanese wrestling, slap fighting thing. It did turn me off immediately, so I just zoned out of the match and I made myself something to eat. But
can I ask a quick question based around that?
Go for it.
So basically, like, they'll trade shots, like, chop, chop punch, whatever, right? What's the difference between that and the Yam Boo Spot in WWE?
You mean when they pretty much
when they're allowing to hit each other instead of just?
I mean, that's annoying too.
Okay, all right.
Cool. Hey, I'm being fair. Like you when you're talking about, if I'm going to say something bad about WWE, I'm going to say something bad about AEW. I'm going to do the same thing. If WWE isn't innocent, they'll still do some shit that AEW does and indies do, but some shit. But yeah, this match I was not a fan of. Again, we've seen this match before, and obviously we're getting blood and guts. But whatever. What do I know? But what did you think about the match?
Well, I didn't hate this match. I'll say this. I didn't say I liked this match either. However, there were some things, and I liked the story that was being told between Eddie and Moxley in this match. I think that was more about that, more than anything else. I'll give Shota Umino some love here. They're doing in New Japan right now. They're going through a youth movement in New Japan right now, and Shota Umino is one of those guys that they're looking out for, and he's gonna be one of those guys in the next 2 or 3 years where he's gonna be possibly IWGP World Champion, and he's super. I think he's in his 20s still. I think he's like 27 or 26 or something like that. So he's gonna be one of the Japanese stars that we're gonna hear going forward in the future. But he's still young. But outside of this match, I mean, there was some good stuff in here, but for the most part, I mean, I wouldn't say I don't want to say I could have gone without this match here, but like it really, the match wasn't really that great. It was just the Eddie Kingston, John Moxley part of the story, and you had a couple good spots here and there, but outside of that, I mean, I didn't think it needed to go. I think the match could have been shorter. I think it could have been like at least 15 minutes. I think this match went over 20 minutes. So there's that.
All right. Next, we have the AEW World Women's Championship. You have Toni Storm, the champion, with Ruby Soho and Serena versus Willow Nightingale, who is the IWGP Women's Champion.
No, the New Japan Strong Champion.
Okay, there we go. This match was 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't know if I mentioned that. I mean, again, wasn't a terrible match in my opinion. It was a match, and I like Willow Nightingale. I think she's talented. Toni Storm is very much at this point take her or leave her. I know, Justin, you mentioned at this point it just feels like she's holding a title and she's not really anyone special.
She's not being what's the word I'm looking for? She's not being presented as a big deal with this championship.
Right, and just Toni Storm, like I mentioned, she's very much taker or leaver. When she was in NXT UK, I thought that was probably the best. Well, in my opinion, and I'm just talking about from my standpoint of that was probably the best I've seen her. And then when she was in NXT for a cup of coffee, she was, good to watch. WWE, she just, and I don't want to make this a WWE like me dick riding WWE, but it's just I mean they really did try to push her. I mean they put her in a program with Charlotte.
No.
Okay, so let me tell a story. So and RJ famously tells a story.
Okay.
Is right around the time when she had left or quit. She took her ball and went home. She had a match with Charlotte, which was a pre-taped episode of SmackDown, and the story that went around was that they had to do so many edits of the match because it just wasn't a really good match. And this is Charlotte Flair. I mean, say what you want about Charlotte, she's fucking Charlotte Flair. She can have a good match with anyone.
Right.
She couldn't get a good match out of fucking Toni Storm.
Right.
So that kind of says a lot about Toni Storm. So, again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm dick riding WWE, but it's like, they gave her something to do, but she clearly just wasn't, she wasn't capable of handling it the way they wanted her to handle it, in my opinion. I'm just saying, these are my opinions.
Including having paint being dumped or wherever the fuck that was dumped on her, and having that shit storyline to deal with.
It's happened to everybody else. But
I mean, that two wrongs don't make a right, though.
I mean, yeah, again, true. You're not wrong. But, she comes to AEW and she's just been a non-factor. I mean, is she terrible in the ring? No. I mean, but she just, this is going to sound harsh. She's really not anyone special compared to a lot of other.
Do you think that it is more or less of how she's being presented on TV, or do you just think that as a wrestler, you don't think that she is special as a wrestler role, like her character, her presentation?
I mean, you can definitely make the argument. I'm not trying to sound like I'm skating around the question. I'm just saying you can make an argument that maybe it's the overall presentation, maybe it's how she's being booked, but from what I've seen, she's been booked pretty, I don't want to say strong, but she's been booked pretty decently. I mean, she's been a women's champion twice, and she's
you can be booked a certain way, but okay, Thunder Rosa won the fucking women's championship. She was nowhere to be seen on TV. It all comes down to the guy that's in charge,
right?
And how they are presented. Like when Toni Storm won the fucking Mae Young Classic, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that if she would have stuck it out in WWE, obviously she'll be in a better position. But at the same time, she would have had to went through a lot of shit with Vince before she would have got to Triple H. And who's to say that she wouldn't have left WWE or let's say that she went and got released from WWE, because WWE did a little bit of cuts during that time as well. So, I do like Toni Storm, but at the same time as well, it's kind of like in basketball, right? Or basketball or even football, like Vince Young, right? Vince Young, who played for the Tennessee Titans, who looked great and whatnot, right? And he ended up going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, there was nothing in his stats prior before he left the Tennessee Titans that is like, oh man, this guy should be out of the fucking league. Then all of a sudden, politics happens and he goes to the Eagles, and then eventually he's out of the league. But if you look back at his stats when he was with the Tennessee Titans, it's like, God damn, this guy may be the future of the NFL. But he never had that opportunity again once he left Tennessee. It's kind of the same thing in wrestling, where certain wrestlers, for example, like Miro, like Andrade, Toni Storm, and you can even go through, WWE's sake as well, for a little bit. Robert Roode, even though he was older, right? Ricochet for a while. You know what I mean? It's just as if you get the opportunities, and if you get to, what's the word I'm looking for? Be able to use your strengths, then for the most part, you should be looking good. But if you are booked to your weaknesses, or if you're not being booked at all, if you're not being booked to the, to the liking of the fans, or to your liking personally, then you're gonna look like, oh, you're a bust, so this, that, and the other, and which I don't think is fair to that individual. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, I definitely don't think she's a bust. I mean, because there's definitely been plenty of busts, in wrestling in general. But it's like, I don't know, just
a bust as far as her being that talent,
right? Because since we're on the topic about sports, it's like, Kwame Brown was a bust. Number one draft pick, played with Michael Jordan.
He should have gone number one, but he went number one. Yeah, he was a bust. Yes.
Played with Michael Jordan, for years, played with other teams for years. And now he has a podcast where he's just talking shit about everybody because they get some views or whatever. But, I wouldn't call Toni Storm a bust because she does have talent. But I just look at it as maybe I've just been distracted. And again, I'm going to sound like a pig and I don't care. Maybe I've just been distracted by the fact that she wears short shorts. That she's just really not that good. I don't know. But
I mean, her stuff in Japan was a lot better than what the fuck she's doing now. So,
and maybe it's like a self thing for her. Maybe she got a little complacent. I don't know. Like it's kind of like.
I mean, she is again with her. She is again with with her significant other. She's there with Juice Robinson. It could be one of those things where it's like, well, I'm here with my man. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say that she doesn't want to get better. That's like kind of like a not a great thing to say, but it just feels like to me that with what's given to her, it feels like she's not progressing.
Would it be fair to say that she just feels comfortable?
Yeah. I think that's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
All right, there you go. Let's see where are we at. All right, next match, and this is the match that everyone wants to talk about. Will Ospreay with Don Callis versus Kenny Omega in a match for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. This was the longest match of the night, 39 minutes and 45 seconds, just 15 shy of 40 minutes. All right. So I did watch this match. I paid attention as much as I could. I'll just start off by saying, wasn't my kind of match. Was it a horrible match? No. I'd be an idiot if I said it was a horrible match. Just wasn't my kind of match. I'll put it that way. I thought the main event was much better, but it's too fucking long. Just kind of what I expected out of this match. I mean, I think Will Ospreay is actually very good. I'll just come out by saying I think he's a really good wrestler. A lot better than Kenny. I'll just leave it at that. Of course, there had to be a blood spot. Of course, there had to be a spot with a screwdriver for reasons. And, of course, typical indie, well, not really indie, but Japanese modern wrestling shtick of, hey, I'm gushing blood. How's about you do a Hurricane Rana off the top rope? So, I don't know. Just wasn't in love with this match like most people. Didn't hate it, necessarily. It just didn't work for me. It's like the movie Avatar. People love the movie Avatar. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was horrible. Just thought it was a little overhyped. But I just wasn't loving this match. Everyone knows how I feel about Kenny Omega. But I do think Ospreay is great. But,
did you think Kenny Omega wrestled a good match?
I think a lot of Kenny Omega's best matches were against better talent. Like his matches with Okada that everyone thought was, were the greatest matches they've ever seen.
So you're saying Kenny Omega did wrestle a good match in this match?
I never said Kenny Omega wasn't a good wrestler. Like anytime, all my criticisms about Kenny, I've never once said he was a terrible wrestler. He's very talented. He is very athletic. Obviously, he has a good look. He has a good body. It's just when you look at his greatest matches, a lot of them involve talent that were better than him. Like the matches he had against Danielson. Those were great because it was fucking Danielson. The matches he had against AJ.
Do you think it takes two to tango, though? Do you think it's like, for example, Will Ospreay in reality is more flippy than Kenny. Right. He actually did some stuff in this match.
Right.
But like it takes two to tango.
Oh, definitely.
So for example, you had I'll do Walter versus Ilya Dragunov, right? Walter did some great stuff in the match. So did Ilya Dragunov, right? Cody versus Roman, right? Both. It takes two to tango. So if Kenny Omega is getting high praises from certain matches, he deserves some credit.
Oh no,
as well as the other talent too, as well.
I'm giving him credit, but here's the thing: it definitely does take two to tango. And the guys you just mentioned, like Roman has great matches, but Roman needs to be led because obviously Roman is not going to carry a good match at anybody. He needs someone to bring that out of him. And then Cody's obviously Cody. He's great. Dragunov is Dragunov. He can have a good match with anyone. He had a great match with fucking Dijak, and Gunther's Gunther. He's going to have a good match with anyone.
Right.
This might be a little controversial. So, who Kenny Omega reminds me of, and I'm thinking about this in my head while I'm saying this about Kenny. He's talented. I've always said, with Kenny, it's just like he's talented, but it's like, what does he do that's different from AJ? Kenny, in some aspects, reminds me of Triple H, in a sense where Triple H had great matches with talent, but he was the guy who worked with the other guy that drew the most money. He had great matches against Shawn Michaels, but it was Shawn Michaels. He had great matches against The Undertaker, but that was The Undertaker. He had great matches against Steve Austin and The Rock and John Cena, but look at the other guy across the ring. So Triple H was a good wrestler, but he wasn't a great wrestler. He was just the guy that could work with the other guy that drew the most money, and that's in some aspects that's what Kenny Omega kind of reminds me of. Is he's the guy that's gonna work with the other guy who's better than him. Not saying he's bad, but when he works with someone who's better than him, he's able to get that big match out. I mean, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I just think that when Kenny Omega came to AEW,
right,
we didn't see like this match that you saw here. This was New Japan Kenny Omega.
Okay,
this is the Kenny Omega that I became a fan of. What I saw in this match, I'm like, okay, this is the fucking Kenny Omega that I'm a fan of. Not to say that all his AEW stuff has been bad, because it hasn't, but there's been some stuff where it's like, it's kind of lazy, you know what I mean, type of stuff. Like, it's not the Kenny Omega that, like, you can tell, like some weeks he's like not fully wrestling, but like this one here, he's like, no, fuck this shit, I'm just gonna go out here and fucking kill myself. You know what I mean? Which, at the end of the day, you don't want your wrestlers to do. So I see why he kind of phones it in, from week to week to week. But before I give my opinion, did you were you finished with your opinion of the match overall?
No, I pretty much finished. Ospreay won as he should have, and I don't think the match should have been near 40 minutes. I get why they needed to do it, but I thought you probably could have told a story in maybe like 25 minutes, 25 minutes. But that's just me. But go ahead, man. Yeah.
So, as far as this match, this is definitely match of the year candidate. I don't know if I put this as my match of the year. I still think I still have the triple threat at WrestleMania with Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus.
Ooh, okay.
That's just my personal match of the year as of right now. You know what I mean? But like they beat the shit out of each other in that triple threat match. Like, they were just welling on each other, beating the shit out of each other, just, nonstop back and forth. It's kind of the same with this match, in a different sense. Not with, like, physical chops, but they did use, it's like steel steps, things of that nature. The first 10 minutes of this match was slow, right? To get it going. Then after the first 10 minutes, the last 30 minutes, essentially, this thing was just, spot after spot. The Tiger Driver 91, Kenny being dumped on his head, Will Ospreay doing a corkscrew moonsault to the outside, V-triggers and fucking hidden blades, and Will Ospreay using the one wing angel. No one kicks out of the one wing angel except for Kenny Omega, of course, and of course he kicks out at one, and which got a big pop out of me. Now, I will say this. Now, in this match itself, I thought it was a little bit overbooked at the end with Don Callis. Don Callis got thrown out, right? Got thrown out. Why was he allowed to come back out to ringside? That I didn't understand. Why was he allowed to come back out to ringside for like the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of this match? And, pretty much that led to Will Ospreay's victory. But despite that, this match... okay. Let me tell you this, Drew. I forgot to mention. So I had a friend who went to this show. He does not like AEW. He actually I know you said you don't hate AEW. This guy hates AEW. He really hates it. He's like, this shit's fucking dumb, stupid. You know what I mean? Fuck Tony Khan. He likes a few people. He likes who does he like? He likes Ricky Starks. He likes for some. odd reason, you'd think he'll hate Orange Cassidy, but he likes Orange Cassidy. He likes CM Punk, he likes MJF. So there's some people he does like, right? So he went to the show, and I don't know if it was because of the live experience there, but he messaged me afterwards, and he said that the Will Ospreay match and the Kenny Omega match is the best match he ever seen in his life. And he went into not liking. He didn't like these guys. Like, I'm being dead serious. Like, he hated Kenny Omega. He hated Will Ospreay. He'll make fun of Will Ospreay, like, oh yeah, Will Ospreay's so fucking broke. That's why he's trying to get some money off of Seth Rollins, and you know what I mean, with the feud on Twitter. Like, he'll just like make jokes about it. But he said this is the best match he ever seen in his life. Like, and that's saying something. I don't know if it's because he went there live. You know, I know it's a different experience going live versus, but from a guy who like really hates AEW, hates Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, and hates that style, to say now was the best match he ever seen in his life is really a 180 turn. Now I'll say this wasn't the best match I ever seen in my life. But if you told me that this is your match of the year, I am not gonna blame you whatsoever. These are two of the best pro wrestlers in the world, right? You know, if you have them in your top 10, if you have them in your top 5, your top 3, I'm not going to argue with you about that. This match here was incredible. Just incredible. And if you kept up with the story in New Japan as well, and I kind of mentioned this too as well, after their first match, and for the record, I liked their first match probably better, because it didn't involve like outside interference, things of that nature. It was just a straight wrestling match, and the table spot that was recreated in this match, Kenny actually fucking put Will Ospreay's head through a fucking table in Japan. Like, even though Will Ospreay tried to return the favor back, you know, that was still brutal too. But if you told me that this match is better than the Tokyo Dome match, I'm not going to argue that. But I just thought this match was incredible. I love the story here. From when Will Ospreay said that, like he was a broken man after Wrestle Kingdom, saying that I don't know if this is worth it anymore. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can beat Kenny. Like, he was down on himself, and he came back, and even though with the help of Don Callis, ended up being Kenny Omega, But again, like I said, this was, to me, best match of the night. I thought this is definitely a match of the year contender. This is definitely one of my match of the year contenders, as of right now. And, I just really thought it was an excellent, again, story that was told between the two in the match. Again, if you know the story, you'll probably think the match is good as I'm putting. But if you didn't know the story, you're probably like, well, what's so special about this? But Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, like, fine job, gentlemen. I think there's gonna be a part 3. There should be a part 3 in Wembley. If they do this again in Wembley, like, whoo, man, I don't know how they can top it, but yeah, that'll be a sight to see if they do this in Wembley.
Another thing, it should have been the main event. Really?
It should have been the main event. After looking at both matches, the actual main event and this match, and hindsight, it should have been the main event. But at the time, I understand what Tony Khan was doing, because we already seen this match earlier this year between Kenny and Will Ospreay. First time match ever between Bryan Danielson and Okada, and we don't even know we're gonna get this match again between Danielson and Okada. So I understand why that main evented. And rightfully so, Danielson and Okada should have main evented, but looking back in hindsight, like, this was the main event. It was excellent match.
Because, like, I know I telling the guy was shitting on the match, it really wasn't, but it's like, this match had everything. I mean, it had everything you would want as a wrestling fan, and it's like, what else can you do to top it? So I think it should have been the main event, and just in my opinion, just based off of everything that happened in the match alone, it should have been the main event. But next,
not to mention too. I'm sorry, but one last thing about this match. Fucking Will Ospreay came out to elevate it. He came out to his old theme song. I was marking the fuck out. That's such a damn good theme song. And of course, Kenny Omega comes out to Devil Sky. Like, to me, that's one of my favorite wrestling themes ever. Like, just the whole Final Fantasy VII inspired Sephiroth theme. Like, this is great. But yeah.
Nice. Next, you had a 6-man tag. Sting, Darby Allin, and Tetsuya Naito defeating the Suzuki Gods, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki. This was... I mean, the match was fine, but again, what just happened?
I didn't... Yeah. It's like, how can you follow that?
Nope.
You know what I mean? This match here, I'll be honest, I wasn't really a fan of this match. I'll be honest. I love Naito. He didn't really get to do much. We didn't even get to see fucking Destino. We didn't even get to see his fucking finishing maneuver in this match. But Sammy Guevara almost fucking killing Sting. Wasn't a fan of that shit either. So,
yeah.
But I guess the most memorable part of the match is when Guevara, Jericho, and Suzuki did the pose in the ring. I thought that kind of popped me a little bit because that was kind of funny. And not too many people know. Like, if you watch Suzuki, if you're just an AEW fan, you watch Suzuki, and you're like, okay, that's Death Grandpa, which is true. He is Death Grandpa, but like, he does have a comedic side to him. And he does like a little bit of comedic stuff in Japan, like when he wrestled in a fucking baseball stadium, and he did like comedic stuff before. So you don't get to see it often, but just that little blemish in that match, you saw that there, which got a pop out of me. But as far as this match, yeah, you try to follow Ospreay and Omega, and this match it kind of fell flat for me.
All right, and since we were talking about matches that probably shouldn't have been on the show, I don't know if they should have been on the show. But that's just me. Next, you have the main event, Bryan Danielson versus Okada. The match was 27 minutes and 40 seconds. What else can we say? I mean, it was as expected, a great match. Danielson is fucking Danielson. And Okada is Okada. Okada, can still go. He looks like $1 million. He walks like $1 million. Danielson is fucking Danielson. He's, the best technical wrestler going on today. A little, I guess, fact in the match is that Danielson wrestled 10 minutes with a legit broken arm. Was it an arm or an elbow?
He broke his forearm.
All right, there we go. So 10 minutes of wrestling with a broken forearm, and he's apparently going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, correct?
10 to 12.
10 to 12, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, it sucks because, we love Bryan Danielson. But there's a scary spot in the match where Okada does a tombstone to Danielson outside the ring, which is just like, Danielson, who had to retire because of concussions and, neck problems. And it's just, when I see stuff like that happening, I wince because it's like, I don't want to see Danielson do shit like that. And, I get it. Danielson's whole thing is, I'm a wrestler. I need to go out there and show him tough. It's old school mentality, but it's like, I don't want to see it. I get worried when I see it. So, but great match. Danielson cussing. It's always funny hearing Danielson cuss. He's like, I want to kick this guy's fucking head off. And I might need to rewatch the match because there's some shit I'm forgetting. But Danielson getting the win by submission on Okada, which I was surprised by. But again, great match, but placement was wrong. The Omega and Ospreay match obviously should have been the main event. I don't know if maybe this was like a political play of New Japan saying, "Hey, could you have Okada go on last?" Or I don't know, but it was very bad placement. But overall, what'd you think about the match?
It did not live up to expectations.
Okay.
It did not live up to expectations. Not to say it was a bad match. I liked the match. It was a very good match. It was right. Actually, it was rightful of the main event setting, right? Even though we just kind of talked about for a couple minutes about Omega and Ospreay show main eventing. And the reason why I think this match probably didn't, come off as great is because of Bryan Danielson's broken arm, forearm. That played a huge part of the match. You know what I mean? Look, just look at the way he had to end the fucking match. You know what I mean? Like, he had to, do the fucking label lock, all different. But I think we may see well, probably not now, but I think that for Wrestle Kingdom next year, we may see them go back at it one more time. That's if Okada doesn't win G1. If Okada wins G1, that means they'll face off against Sonata at Tokyo. So basically, G1 is like the Royal Rumble. Like whoever wins the G1 is, the number one contender for the Tokyo Dome.
Right.
So it depends what happens in G1. I think Naito's probably going to win G1 actually. Former leader versus protege, teacher versus protege. But anyway, so yeah, this match, it like I said, it was a good match. I didn't think it was the worst match of the show. I think I'll probably place this maybe, second or third, right? It was slow, but I think that it was because of what happened with Danielson. He broke his, he wrestled 10 more minutes with a broken forearm. So he basically wrestled, a little bit under half the match for a broken forearm. So it felt like it never got into that third gear. It got into that second gear, but it felt like it never got to that third gear, kind of like with Omega and Ospreay. Omega and Ospreay got to that third gear for like the last 10 minutes of that match, and it was like, holy fucking shit. So I think this match suffered from it. This felt like, now I will say this: Okada, Bryan Danielson is still better than this match I'm going to say here. This felt like AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where that match, again, it felt like it never got a second gear into third gear, into fourth gear, and all that. So, will I want to see this match again? Absolutely, I would. I'm thinking we could see this at Wrestle Kingdom next year. If that's happening, I'm gonna definitely watch the match for sure. And I would like to think in Japan, it's so funny that something, whenever matches happen in Japan, something just comes out of these wrestlers and they just go to another fucking element. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's just real unreal. But good match overall. I know Meltzer's probably gonna rate Omega and Ospreay probably like 6 or 7 stars. I think this match will probably be, I'm just guessing, well, he'll probably have it probably 4.5 stars. This is not a 5-star match whatsoever, but still a good match, still a great match. Like, don't get me wrong, but for the expectations of this match, it was underwhelming.
So Meltzer hasn't put out his star ratings?
Yeah, not until Friday.
Let me just double check that. Right.
I can tell you it's not out. It's not until Friday.
No, it looks like it's out. Saying AEW Forbidden Door ratings revealed. The newsletter doesn't. They come out on Fridays. Unless I'm reading the wrong article. No, actually, no. It's not released. Never mind. I'm sorry. It's showing like ratings for like other websites, but not Meltzer. So yeah. All right, just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, that'll be Friday morning.
All right, so that was, I was gonna say Double or Nothing. That was Forbidden Door.
No, much better than Double or Nothing. Like, I don't know. What would you give a rating out of 10?
Well, coming from a esteemed, biased AEW New Japan watcher, no, but there was obviously a lot of shit I would have done without. And this is not from a perspective of I hate AEW, more just from a perspective of why is this match on the card when you could just watch it on Collision or Dynamite for free. So it was a little too long. Again, why do AEW pay-per-views need to have 10 fucking matches or 12 matches? And they had 5 pre-show matches for reasons I don't know why, but
Well, I mean, the pre-show matches I'm not gonna fucking count because who's watching that? Who's watching the pre-shows anyway? You know what I mean? So.
Somebody is. Trust me.
I mean, I know people are, but like, I don't count that shit.
But I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be nice. Fuck it. Probably like a 6.8. Roughly around like a 6.8, 7.
A 7 out of 10.
I guess 6.8 out of 10.
That hurts you to even say that.
I don't want people to think I hate AEW, which I really don't. But it's just like, I gotta be honest. You know, I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7 because I like the beginning. I like the first 2 matches because the flow seemed, decent. And I didn't hate Omega and I was gonna say Okada, Omega and Ospreay. I just thought it maybe should have been shorter, and there were some things in the match I could have done without. The main event I actually thought was really good, but like you said, when Danielson, clear as day, he was working with an injury, it kind of ruined the flow of the match. Mm-hmm. The Orange Cassidy, anything just is usually a turnoff for me. The Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite is just like, why was this on the show? It didn't need to be on the show, in my opinion. And the women's match probably could have been a lot better, but it wasn't, unfortunately. And I don't put that on Willow. I actually like Willow. And I'm probably forgetting about another match. The Jericho Sting shit. Again, I guess I get why, because it's Jericho and they want him to be on anything because he still has star power, and I say that with quotation fingers if anyone can't see. And it's Sting. It's Sting! But, I see Jeff Lipman in the chat. He says C- show. That's fair. So, 7 out of 10 for me.
Oh, well, I'm gonna do a completely 180. I thought this was. I don't know if I give this pay-per-view of the year. I don't know if I do. I think Man Night 1 is probably still there for me, but if you tell me that this is pay-per-view of the year, I'm not gonna argue that. But I give this a 9 out of 10. I thought that, despite some of the detractors of this pay-per-view, kind of it didn't really hurt the show to the point where it's like, oh fuck, I really gotta the main matches really made this show. And and we have an incredible match like Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. I mean, this, I'm just gonna rate the show highly based off that alone. But Okada and Danielson, great. You know what I mean? MJF and Tanahashi, a good opener as well. You know what I mean? I thought they had a solid opener. Like, to me, even though we talked about, there was not really one bad match on this show. There was some stuff I could have went with down, but there was not one match I was like, oh, this match fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Even the women's match, I didn't think the women's match was bad or anything. I just thought it was underwhelming. You know what I mean? You can be underwhelming while being bad. You know, so. But yeah, no. I'll probably give this maybe 8.75. I take that back instead of being 8.75 out of 10. But this is definitely up there as pay-per-view of the years for me. Definitely AEW's best pay-per-view of the year so far, to me at least. That and Revolution, 2 best pay-per-views from AEW so far. But as of right now, I still give May and Night 1 my pay-per-view of the year so far.
All right. And you're not alone, with people thinking this might be pay-per-view of the year. On Sports Illustrated, Forbidden Door was a runaway box office success for AEW. Let's see. It did. I just saw the fucking buys. 140,000 buys on pay-per-view. The company drew its second $1 million live gate in its history. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we have, because I just saw it. All right, here we go. The live gate was 1.2 million US, a mark that no non-WWE pro wrestling show ever held in North America had reached, which would be about 1.6 million Canadian. Since it will break it by a minimum of 600% for the company's next giant event, all in at Wembley Stadium in London, is just telling us what we already don't know. So, I don't know, Jeff. I'm just reading the article. I'm not trying to say that they're right or wrong. I'm just reading the article. But maybe, I don't know. But if that's the case, good for them. It's like Justin said, a lot of people like the pay-per-view. I obviously didn't love it. I didn't hate it. But if you liked it, if you loved it, that's awesome. At the end of the day, wrestling is subjective. That's the title for an episode that we did. Check it out. But if you loved it, if you love it, there's nothing wrong with that. So there's also nothing wrong with not liking it. At the end of the day, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
So that was Forbidden Door. So now we're going to move on to Monday, which is Monday Night Raw. Monday was me and the Mrs. anniversary. So we were out and, we saw you early in the day on Monday.
Yeah. I came to the shop, yeah.
And so I missed a lot of. I actually did. I came home and I did watch Raw, but I had to do a lot of fast forwarding. So I just, I hit the parts that kind of piqued interest, which to be honest, a lot of Raw. I mean, Raw wasn't bad, but a lot of what carried Raw was mainly Judgment Day stuff with Cody, Dominic, and why am I blanking on the fucking name? Finn. And Carmelo Hayes, and Seth, obviously. So Monday Night Raw was in where the fuck was it? O2 Arena. Oh no, it wasn't the O2 Arena. Where was Raw on Monday? If anyone knows,
in Shits Cans, Kansas.
Okay, there we go. I trust you.
I don't remember where it was at.
We'll just say
crowd was okay though. Crowd was all right.
We'll just say it was some Shits Can, Kansas. I trust Justin. I trust you. The beginning of the show, this is again where I watched. Dominic addresses Rey Mysterio, just hyping up their match on Saturday. Cody just calling him out, saying that you're a punk. You're not gonna face me like a man. You hide behind Rhea. At the end of the day, you're just mommy's little boy. Kyle says it's from Savannah, Georgia. Oh, then.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's correct. That is 100% correct. Yeah, because they're making because Cody was wearing like Georgia. He was wearing like a shirt that said like Georgia on it or something. Yeah, Georgia's own or some shit like that.
Yeah, Cody's hometown.
Yeah.
But I think he's from Marietta. Is he from Marietta, Georgia, or Savannah?
I think it was Marietta, but he's built from Atlanta. I don't know. He's from. I don't know. He maybe from fucking Texas or Florida. I don't fucking know. Like, he has, like, 3 hometowns. Like Ricky Starks has, like, 7 hometowns. Like, he's like, oh, I'm from Austin. Oh, but I'm also from New Orleans. Oh, Jacksonville, you know what I mean? Oh, can't forget about, Nigeria.
I don't know. It always kind of confused me whenever, like, wrestlers from Canada, when you knew they were from Canada, but the announcer would be like, now residing in... It's like Chris Benoit was from Calgary, and it's like, now residing in Augusta, Georgia.
Or fucking yeah, the one that like I have never heard like in years. Chris Jericho from Manhasset, New York. Like what? Like let's go completely fucking random. Manhasset, New York. Jesus.
Well, I mean, wasn't his dad was a New York
Rangers? Yeah, but it's like
he's from Winnipeg, according to him.
Ah, God. Anyway.
But anyways. Yeah, I mean, nice promo to hype up the match. Nothing too special about it, but it was a good promo, and it just further hypes up the match for this Saturday. The crowd booing the shit out of Dom, not letting him talk. And yeah, that's really about it. Thoughts?
Decent segment to open up the show. I like how Cody quoted the can in the hat, so...
Nice.
So there's that. So, but yeah, I mean, with a heat magnet like Dominic, and Rhea being strong as they are, and Cody coming out. I mean, it's not going to be a bad segment, so it was good.
All right. Next, you had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet. Again, fun match between the two. It's one of those things of like we've seen them wrestle before. Again, not complaining because it's Nakamura and Ricochet, but again, it's just like I've seen this match before, so okay, fine. It just hypes up the Money in the Bank, but Ricochet getting the win. But what'd you think?
Again, good match. Ricochet ain't winning the Money in the Bank, so this actually increases Nakamura's chances now. Believe it or not, I don't think he's gonna win it, but and Bronson Reed, Dick Boy was out there as well as a distraction. So let's not forget about that. The main reason why Nakamura won. I'm sorry, why Nakamura lost in the first place, but good TV match.
Next, you had Ronda Rousey versus Raquel Gonzalez. I skipped this match because I don't give a fuck about Ronda Rousey. But Ronda got the win. What'd you think?
Next match.
All right, then. Dominic came out to have a match. Because earlier, he went to Adam Pearce because he wanted a match. He wanted somebody on his level. And then he ends up wrestling Akira Tozawa. Dom getting the win, of course. Go ahead.
Well, you skipped the Seth Rollins promo. And,
hold up. Let me look that up real quick. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, because that's kind of important for like the rest of the night. Oh.
Sorry about that. So Seth Rollins comes out, cuts a promo, and acknowledges that the NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes, is sitting ringside. Just talking about the match on Saturday. And then, of course, Finn comes out to beat the shit out of Seth again, which I love. I love this. I love seeing this side of Finn. We need to see more of this Finn. We've been dying to see more of this Finn.
This is the closest to, original Bullet Club Finn Balor that we have on the main roster.
So as he's about to use a steel chair on Seth, Carmelo Hayes blocks that steel chair attempt. And we end up getting Carmelo Hayes making his debut, or his wrestling debut on Monday Night Raw against Finn a little later. Let's see. Tommaso Ciampa was heading to the ring, and then The Miz attacked him from behind, so we didn't get that match. And next we had Akira Tozawa versus Dominic, or Dom. We'll just call him Dom. Dom got the win, of course. What'd you think about everything that just happened?
You know what? I miss Akira Tozawa being on TV. He's a damn good wrestler. I'm very happy to still see him on TV, but he has one of the best suicide dives in wrestling. Like, he goes for it. But yeah, Dom winning this match is the obvious thing, and nothing wrong with that. I just wish they treat Akira Tozawa a little bit more seriously, but And you know what? And everybody that was on 205 Live, only him and Ali reside. Like, everyone else is, like, gone from the company for the most part. Like, Brian Kendrick and Enzo Amore and fucking Tony Nese and... Drew Gallagher, he's on NXT too. But it's like, TJP and, So I'm glad Akira Tozawa's still in WWE. I mean, hopefully he stays longer, man. I don't want anything, I don't want anyone to lose their jobs, but...
No.
I just hope he stays.
You also need more bodies. You need more people to enhance the other talent. So, yeah, I don't mind Akira Tozawa in his role. I mean, he's obviously talented. Maybe that's why they keep him around. So, and there's also guys that to this day still have a job at the company, even though you're like, wait, why are they here? And then you see them working, like, oh, okay, I get it. So.
Yeah. And he does have he's good for comedic effect as well, so Vince loves that. So
yeah, Drew Gulak, same thing. Drew Gulak still has a job with the company. He's in NXT, and I think he's a coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he actually helped out. I think Cody's return or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I know he's been training with some other wrestlers ear for their return or for for their rehab or whatnot. So, Drew Gulak. He's Coach Drew Gulak, if you remember from 2K22 last year.
Oh, no, I remember that. Where I think they're like the story mode where he was training you and he was training Shawn Michaels or whatever. But
Right.
yeah, he's good in his role. I like him. He's we need if you're gonna release if you're gonna keep anyone, keep him, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. So next we have all the competitors in the women's Money in the Bank, hosted by Corey Graves, and everybody spoke. Everybody dished out insults, and it turned into a huge brawl. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Next is we have Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Oh yeah, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. I mean, what can you say? It was a really good match. I probably like this more than the Kevin Owens match, and I like the ending more because at least the ending didn't make Gunther look weak. And I know people are gonna be shocked, Gunther weak. The ending of the Kevin Owens match, I hated the fact that Gunther had to win off of a fucking roll up. Like, why does Gunther need to win off of a roll up? He's fucking Gunther. But this match was good. There was obviously like a distraction from Imperium. Gunther capitalizes on the distraction and does his power bomb to Sami and got the win. So good match, can't complain. Sami Zayn can obviously go. He's fucking Sami Zayn, and it's fucking Gunther. So, but what'd you think about the match?
Very good TV match. You got two of the best professional wrestlers in the world having a good TV match, and at the end of the day, it was what expected. Gunther gets the win. So,
awesome. Was this the main event? No, it wasn't. All right, the next match is Finn Balor versus the NXT champion Carmelo Hayes. Non-title, of course. Really good match. Probably the best match of the night. Hayes looked like a star, on a national television show against, Finn Balor, who's Finn Balor. He can still go out there and have a great match with anyone, given more time, and also obviously the guy in the ring. But I thought they were given an adequate, amount of time. I don't know if do you know how long the match was?
It wasn't that long. It was maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good enough. So, really good back and forth action. Hayes held his own. It's funny because while this match was going on, I was doing some cleaning in the room, so I was kind of trying to do two things at once, trying to pay attention to the match because I obviously want to watch the match, and then I was cleaning at the same time. But do you remember if Hayes got a reaction or not?
No.
Fuck.
No. It was obviously you had some of your NXT fans there, but no, he didn't get a reaction as he usually would.
Yeah, that hurts me to hear because I love Hayes. But good match, Finn got the win.
Well, he got a reaction during the match when they started to see what he can do, but the initial entrance, no.
Okay, so the crowd started to take to him during and after the match.
Yes.
Okay, good, because I was kind of worried there for a second because I like Hayes. But Finn getting the win, clean win with the coup de grace, which I was at first. I do say at first, I was like, should you have your NXT champion get pinned pretty clean? But then I realized, okay, a few things. They really want Finn to look like something heading into the main event. And then, Hayes is the NXT champion and not everyone watches NXT. So Hayes losing to a former world champion, and also a former NXT champion, and Finn, it doesn't hurt him. It doesn't hurt his credibility. I think if he lost to I don't know, fill in the blank of bland ass wrestler, or I don't know, whatever. Just think of somebody. But he lost to a former world champion, Finn Balor, who's about to have a world title match. A very high profile title match on a big pay per view. So I was like, okay, I guess it makes sense. I'm fine with it. So really good match, best match of the night. What'd you think about the match?
Okay, I'm gonna say this first. Like the match, best match of the night. Yes, really like on what they did here in this match. I thought it was damn good. Now,
oh no, oh no.
Why is your NXT champion losing?
Wow.
I hate that you have your champions, and this goes for any company, any situation. You should not have your champions losing on TV. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't care. At least pin. If you lose by disqualification, okay, that's cool. But at least pin. I don't care what the goddamn situation is. That should not be happening whatsoever. Period. Why even have the goddamn match in the first place? I understand why, because, this has come up from NXT, and, last week, Melo came out and helped, Seth at the end of NXT. I totally get that, right? Do you know what they could have done? What do you think they could have done to protect Melo? They didn't protect Melo here at all. Right. What do you think they could have done to protect Melo?
So, I don't know if that's a rhetorical question or if that's a...
No, I'm actually asking you this one.
So, I think in hindsight, I know, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I know I just said I agree with the decision, even though it might have came off as more begrudgingly, but I think what they could have done to protect him is, let's say Melo started getting some more offense and started getting some more momentum, and it looks like he's about to close in on a win, and then Finn decides to cheat. Or not cheat, but like he decides to like low blow or kick Melo in the nuts.
I'll make it even easier for you. It doesn't even need to be all. It doesn't even need to be all that. Melo, yeah, we could go with that. Melo's looking like he's about to win, and look who comes out and distracts the referee, or Finn distracts the referee. Baron Corbin, the guy that you're going to defend the NXT Championship the next night on NXT. Oh my goodness, you could be able to build more heat for the match and let the fans know, oh man, Baron Corbin, he's going to be facing off against Melo tomorrow on NXT. Is Baron Corbin become the new NXT champion? What the fuck? You could have, or what you could have done is you could have just had Baron Corbin just come out to the ring, push Melo off the top before he does the dropping the dime, right? And it's a disqualification. Melo wins by disqualification. It won't hurt Finn, because it won't hurt Finn. It won't hurt Melo at the end of the day. Or I would be okay with a screwy finish with Baron Corbin pushing Melo off, the referee's distracted, and Finn Balor does the coup de grace, because Melo will lose. It wouldn't be a clean loss at that point. It will be like, oh, the only reason why Melo lost is because Baron Corbin screwed him over, and Melo's gonna get his revenge the next night on NXT, which he did. He did beat Baron Corbin, right? So it's like how come someone like me, right, can come up with a better solution to this match than the fucking senile old fuck Vince McMahon? Like, how can I come up with a better solution than Vince McMahon and the writing team there? I just don't understand it. Am I losing my fucking mind with this?
No. I mean, you make a fair statement. Like I mentioned, I know I kind of like begrudgingly agreed with Melo losing clean as a sheet, but it was like, you made a good point. I mean, I thought I made a good point too. It's just like, you obviously want to protect both guys. I think your way kind of made sense. I mean, let me kind of combine the two. So, like, again, going back to what I was mentioning earlier, like, Melo starts to get some offense in. He looks like he's going to, win. And then Finn decides to kick him in the nuts and then just beat the shit out of him. And then Seth comes in to, chase Finn down. And then that's when you have Baron come in the ring and just lay his ass out. And that sets up your match for the next night. It makes it mean more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, regardless. I mean, it's like you could do a number, a number scenario at least of this particular way to finish this match. Number of finishes. just don't have fucking Melo, your NXT champion, beat Pitt. What does that say about the NXT championship? Like, to the casual minds who don't watch NXT already, what does that say? That says, oh, fuck, well, the NXT is definitely lesser than Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Why the fuck should we be watching this show? Why the fuck should I care about, this Carmelo Hayes guy, right? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This wasn't a good look at all. Good match. Very good match. Match of the night. Finish was terrible, though.
All right, fair enough. Now we're on to the main event. I'm sorry. Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. Another solid match. Priest is over. People like Priest, and obviously the company loves Priest, and it's fucking Cody. I mean, what else can you say about the match? The match was in some ways predictable, but sometimes predictable can be good. As long as you have strong performers in it. So a lot of the match was Cody having to face the odds of not just dealing with Damian in the ring, but he has to deal with Dom and Rhea on the outside trying to fuck with the match. And Cody of course getting in Dom's face and Dom hiding behind Rhea like a little bitch, and then Rhea just being like, "Nuh-uh, you're not getting to him." So again, solid match. Again, there's bits I forget shit so easily. There's a point towards the end of the match where Dom gets on the top rope, and they do the whole spot of Damian trying to run at Cody, and then Cody gets out of the way, and he ends up Damian ends up hitting Dom while he's standing on the top, not the top rope, but on the apron. And so that's when Cody realizes, okay, now I have a chance because, Rhea's focused on Dom. So Cody goes for his Crossroads, of course, gets the win. So Cody is the winner heading into this Saturday. Again, solid match. Damian's a star. Cody's a star. This, in my opinion, doesn't really hurt Damian. So
No, especially when you lose on Money in the Bank season. He's probably about to fucking win the shit now because he lost.
I mean,
tonight,
which
or on Monday.
I particularly wouldn't be mad at that. So
no, I wouldn't be mad at that either. Yeah.
But overall, your thoughts on the match and just the Raw in general?
Raw. I mean, you had good matches, but what happened? Again, what happened on this fucking show? It's boring. Not say that the wrestling was bad or anything like that. Wrestling was good. It's boring. It's nothing meaningful happened. Like if you did not watch Raw, what exactly did you miss? Nothing. You didn't miss a damn thing. It's just all run the mill going into Money in the Bank, right? I thought the main event was good. It was good. It was a good match. Very good match, actually. You know what I mean? Very good TV main event. But again, nothing happened. There was really no much, advancement in story, and again, ever since the beginning of the new year, with the exception of the Bloodline, the rest of the roster has been lacking story, with the exception of Ray and Dominic when they had their story. But outside of that, it's I don't know, man. I don't know, man. They need to figure something out after Money in the Bank going into SummerSlam. They really need to. I mean, besides the Bloodline, a lot of you have the Judgment Day having their own internal battles. You have Damian and Finn, having that. Will there or won't they, blow up at each other? Yeah, but there hasn't been advancement since that little tease, even this way. I'm not asking for fucking Damian to turn on Finn or anything like that, or Finn turn on Damian immediately. Just kind of little nudges at every here and there, right? Where and you kind of had that originally, but it's they kind of stopped over the past couple of weeks. But it's again, it's there's nothing going on in WWE. Nothing that wants me to be glued to my television set, right? And that's just me saying it. The fans are saying otherwise. The casual fans are saying otherwise. They're still getting good ratings, things of that nature. I'm just one person. You know what I mean? But and again, it's like, if because did I go to the gym on Monday night? Did I? I don't think I did. No, I went Tuesday. No, yeah, I went. Yeah, okay. So I went before NXT. So I watched Raw all the way through. But if I was like at the gym on Monday, like I wouldn't miss anything. You know what I mean? I would have missed Carmelo's debut. Then have to find out like why the fuck this guy's losing. Immediately, right? Like, for example, Tommaso Ciampa came back. Now he's in fucking. He's already in hell with Miz already. This guy's back. This is his second week back, and he's already like. I'll put it to you this way: Pharaoh is the biggest thing coming out of fucking Monday Night Raw.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Yeah, he's the biggest thing about Monday Night Raw. I swear to fucking God.
Well, I think you're. Come on, I think you're reaching with that.
No, Pharaoh made his debut,
and I like Pharaoh. I like donks. I like Pharaoh, but it's just, come on, man.
I'm not reaching that one. Okay, tell me. Okay, outside of that, tell me what happened on the show.
I think Carmelo Hayes is probably the best part of Raw.
Okay, well, him losing. Okay, yeah.
Again, he got exposure, and like you said, the crowd started to react more to him, like towards the end of the match and after the match. So, but again, okay, I'll give you the Pharaoh thing. Pharaoh maybe the second best part of Raw. I'll give you that one.
All right, okay, that's fair.
Okay, all right. But that was Raw. Now we're on to NXT. NXT Gold Rush Week 2 happened last night. The first match of the night was the NXT Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton looking hot as ever versus Thea Hale. And what we wanted from this match happened. Thea Hale came out of it looking great. Thea, only fucking 19 years old. And she worked this match like she's been wrestling for 10 years.
Yeah. She had a nice, not really a team ball suplex, but she had like a nice overhead suplex that looked well, and got the crowd behind her in this match, doing the Andre Chase U-stomp. So,
right.
Yeah, I know, and but it did kind of got very overbooked at the end,
right?
With Drew Gulak and fucking, well,
it was after the match.
Well, yeah, but it was still overbooked. But you know what? Fucking Andre Chase came back, so that's great.
But it's like you said, it takes two to tango, and Tiffany, give Tiffany credit. Someone who
she's great.
Someone who just improves a lot. I mean, she's obviously the most improved wrestler of the year, or she's up there. But I think if you're going to give it to anyone, you can give it to her. Like, she's improved.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And at the same time, working with somebody who's a lot younger than her, who's only had like a year of experience, and making her look like $1 million. So that's impressive, and my hat's off to Tiffany Stratton for that. And she worked overtime for Thea, like for this whole program in this match, because a lot of the match was Thea trying to use that what do you call it, the armbar on Tiffany. And Kimura, there you go. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, Kimura?
That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. She was using the Kimura lock.
I don't know. When I think of Kimura lock, I think of what the Undertaker does.
Hell's Gate? That's a triangle choke.
Okay, never mind. I'm thinking about something else. Brock Lesnar does the Kimura.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. Yeah. She was. Yeah, she was trying to stop the Kimura.
I'm sorry.
That's what she did after the match. She had her in the Kimura. So
yeah, my MMA knowledge is not perfect, guys. But she really went after that move, and they were really working on that move. And there was a point where Tiffany Stratton was tapping out, but the ref was distracted because he was distracted by Dempsey and Gulak. Gulak was distracting the ref for whatever reason. But Tiffany Stratton in the end got the win. She's still the NXT champion. After the match, like Justin mentioned, Andre Chase came out to defend his girl, and also Duke Hudson. Let's see. And then what happened after which, or in the next match, I'm sorry. NXT Tag Team Champions, Gallus versus Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. I'm a fan of Enofe and Blade. This was a decent match. Still not really big on Gallus, unfortunately, but during the match, Channing Stacks Lorenzo got involved. He ended up hitting a no-fay. I don't know. I mean, it looked like it was on accident, or maybe it wasn't. And Gallus ended up capitalizing on that and getting the win. But overall thoughts?
Good match. I like Malik Blade and Inoue. Like they're gonna be stars. They're gonna be stars. It's just not their time yet. Stacks coming out. Well, it looks like he was gonna hit Mark Coffey, but he actually did a right uppercut to Inoue and or was it Blade? No, it was Inoue. It was Inoue. But anyway, yeah. So, and they kind of said like, oh, did Channing meant to do that? And we found out later tonight that Stacks, rat Tony D out. So
that asshole.
I don't know what this means, man. I don't know what this means. Maybe it's like a inside job type of thing, for Gallus to trust Stacks and Tony D. So Tony D can get out of jail. So Stacks and Tony D can really take tag team titles off of Gallus. I don't know. Maybe it's like an inside mastermind job thing. I don't know, but overall the match was good. Gallus wins. Wolfgang and Mark Coffey still tag team champions. So.
Let's see. Diamond Mine interrupts Schism family meeting. Don't care. I'm just reading off the bits and pieces. Ilya Dragunov explained what on Bizibgabar means to him. I hope I said that right.
I can't. I don't even know how to say it. So,
Carmelo Hayes gets visit, or Rhea Ripley pays Carmelo Hayes a visit by warning him about getting involved with Judgment Day's business. So I guess we're gonna run back Hayes and Finn in the future, or maybe Hayes and Priest or whatever in the future. But
whatever happens, he needs to win that match. If it's on Raw, he needs to win that fucking match. I don't give a fuck.
I agree.
What. Oh man, please don't do this, Vince.
I agree. I like Hayes. I want to see more Hayes. Next, NXT Heritage Cup, Nathan Fraser versus Axiom.
Dragon Lee.
It says Axiom for some reason. Oh yeah, Dragon Lee. I'm sorry. For some reason on here it says Axiom. But yeah, Axiom did come out.
Yeah, he did. Yes.
As expected, good match between the two. I'm still kind of iffy on the rules of on the Heritage Cup thing, but I like Fraser. I think Fraser's great. I like Lee. I think both guys are great. It's just the whole rules of the match are still iffy to me, but nonetheless, still a good match. Fraser gets the win, keeps his Heritage Cup, and like I mentioned, Axiom was standing there and watching the match the whole time. Good back and forth action, as you can expect from the two. Really good television match. And if you want to call it match of the night, I wouldn't disagree with you. If you want to call it a match of the year candidate, I wouldn't disagree with you either. But overall, decent match. I like Fraser. Love that theme. But what'd you think about the match?
Very good TV match. I wouldn't go as far as same match of the year.
What's a candidate? But yeah.
Well, I mean, anyone could be a fucking candidate. Like any match that appeared on TV is a candidate for match of the year, even the shitty ones. But it was a very good TV match though. Very good TV match though. But Nathan Fraser, he's a fucking beast. You know what I mean? Dragon Lee, he's a fucking beast as well. It's just these guys are the future, man. These guys are the future, man. They wrestled it was an NXT type match, but it had hints of other companies in there, like your AEWs, like your New Japans, and things of that nature. So I had little pieces of everything in there, and I thought it ended up being a very, very good match.
Next is Gigi Dolan versus Kiana James. Dolan gained the win. Afterwards, Jane, not Jane, Jesus Christ, James, pouring some type of like paint on her for reasons.
That's ridiculous.
Gigi Dolan is just kind of come to the realization she's not very good. Like the whole these whole like woe is me storylines, I get it. They want to humanize the guys and girls on television, but it's like it kind of comes up as, I hate to sound like a jerk, but it's like it kind of sounds whiny, and it's like, okay, we get it. What's more to your character than the fact that you had a bad childhood? Like, what's more to you that's interesting? Like, this is just sad. It's obviously sad what you went through, but why do I need to keep hearing about it? Like, every time you cut a promo. So, I was talking to RJ.
I don't remember. Did she cut a promo saying, like, boo-hoo me on Tuesday?
Yeah, man. Well, because I think it was like either the previous week where like she did some promo where she was talking about like, tattoos or whatever, and then she still, threw in the whole thing of, I had a bad childhood and tattoos, saved my life or whatever. But it's just like, okay, we get it. You had a bad childhood. Like, again, hate to sound like a jerk, but is your bad childhood defining who you are as a character? Like,
maybe that is just her character. I mean, like fucking Raven for years was just saying like, "What about me? What about Raven?" And
but that was fucking Raven, dude. Like, Raven was actually interesting and compelling. Like, he could cut a promo, and it was just interesting. Like,
I hear you.
Like, Gigi is just not really, other than the fact that she's got yams for days, she's not very compelling. And
I get you, but let's talk about the real fucking issue. This fucking, what's with the fucking paint?
I don't know.
Like, I can give two shits about the promo, boohoo me or whatnot. This shit here is why I don't like. Like, let me just pour paint all over. Like, why? Well, like, I mean, I guess that's cigar and heat, I guess, but it's like, is that needed? Like, is this gonna advance to like oh my god, I swear to god, if this is to a fucking like instead of first blood match, first painted match, I'm gonna kill myself. Okay, probably not, but it's just like, fuck, man, like, this is the lame shit I don't like. Yeah, I mean,
let me ask you something about Gigi. Like, was she, when she was in the Indies, was she better in the Indies, or did she, I don't know, like, was she better in the Indies before she got to WWE?
But she's about the same. She had, like, her, as far as her in-ring stuff, her character was completely different.
Right.
Just putting tampons out, and when she was Priscilla Kelly, when she first came into the Mae Young Classic, it was a completely different character.
Cause I was talking to RJ about it.
She was like a goth character, you know what I mean?
So I was talking to RJ and Monty about it on our group chat, and he was mentioning that it's kind of like a joke, but not really a joke. I guess according to them, because I'm just going to go by their opinions, is that he's noticing that whenever her ass got bigger, she lost a lot of cardio. Or not cardio, but she lost a lot of stamina. Like, she can't really move around in the ring the way she used to. So, like...
Hey, man. Sometimes you gotta, you gotta sacrifice.
So, I don't know. Gigi is just not as good as we think she is, or she's not as good as I think she is. Or I need to rephrase my words because I'm fucking up. She's not as good as everyone likes to make her out to be. Like, it's more of an aesthetic, aesthetic, huh? Get it?
I don't think that. I don't know what people say. Like, oh, she's like really fucking good. Like, I never really heard that from her. Not from her, but like from. I mean, but those people's opinions don't fucking matter. All these dudes, they see their ass and they're like, oh, she's like so fucking like to me, like, she has a great look, right? She definitely has something to offer. In the ring itself, she's not better than JC. I think JC's better than me.
I love JC. I'll choose JC over her any day. I also think it was more just like she was protected because she was in I was going to say Pretty Deadly, Toxic Attraction, because Mandy was the star, and Mandy was
Right.
Mandy was actually good. People forget how good Mandy was, and JC was with the tag team with her and JC. Like JC was obviously the better worker and had more personality, whereas Gigi was kind of protected because she was in a tag team. And then when she became, a single star, she's just been kind of lost. Not to say that JC's, doing any better, but, Gigi, I think more because, we didn't really get to see too much of Gigi other than just like, the physical stuff. I guess she looked
that, do you think that's Gigi or do you think that's, creative?
I don't want to blame it on creative, and I'll say why. Is because like they're at least featuring Gigi in more shit since finishing up with Toxic Attraction and JC. Because it looks like they're still obviously doing things with JC. I haven't forgot about her, but it looks like they're doing more with Gigi. And I wouldn't put that on creative. I would just put that on Gigi. Just kind of like we were saying about Toni Storm earlier, where once upon a time Toni Storm had something to her. But then over the years, especially when she got to AEW, it's just, and we kind of agreed on this, that it almost seems like she's gotten too comfortable. Whereas I think that's kind of the issue with Gigi is, I think she's gotten too comfortable.
I'm going to go with creative on this because I don't think creative's done her any favors on what, I don't think they really done her any favors when she turned,
Right.
When she started going solo. Don't get me wrong, there were some bright spots in there, but it's like, like at the end of the day, creative a lot of times make their characters.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if they chose the route of, let's have you be so sympathetic and and explain your rough childhood and this, that, and the other. Well, like at the end of the day, she's gonna do her best in trying to make something out of it, but to me, it's like with, to me personally, I think it's more of a creative thing than with. Now, if you happen to get her, because when she was in Toxic Attraction, yes, she was protected, but she still did a fucking great job. When
Right.
she was in Toxic Attraction, along with all with the with JC and Mandy. So JC right now, I think she's doing a fairly good job, even though she's kind of being made out to look like a joke a little bit in recent weeks. And again, it's harder to be a babyface than a heel. If you're a heel, if the roles were reversed, JC as a babyface and Gigi as a heel, I think Gigi will be in a better spot than JC. Now, I will say this: I think JC will probably be a better babyface than Gigi, possibly, right? Because I think JC is a little bit better on the microphone. I think she has a little bit better charisma, a better facial expression. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just one guy.
I don't know. Just in my opinion, I just put them back together. They at this point they need each other. It works better just to keep them together than to keep them apart. But whatever. After which, Gable Steveson backstage segment offered to train Eddie Thorpe for his match against Damon Kemp, who's Gable's brother. Next week it's going to be Ali versus Bate, or I'm sorry, Ali versus Tyler Bate, which that should be a good match.
But before we continue, this Eddie Thorpe and Damon Kemp match, Gable Stevenson's turning.
Okay.
That's like if that shit ain't obvious, I don't know what is.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like, give him some, because ever since he's signed with WWE, he's done shit. Like shit.
I mean, this is his first 2 weeks on TV. Like, no one said when he got signed that he was gonna be on TV immediately. Like, he got signed to WWE, started training or whatnot. Then he started to he did the Olympics, right? Did the Olympics, and now I think he still wants to do some more NCAA wrestling. I think, but as of right now, I mean, like, he's committed. He's still committed to his amateur wrestling career. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't think it's not like him. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is kind of on him, but like at the same time, it's like he still has a fucking career that he wants to have. But the fact that he's on TV now, like he's been on TV for the last 2 weeks. Let's see where this goes. You know what I mean? Like can't judge his career if he's never actually done anything yet. Like now he's starting to do stuff. So let's see where this goes. His promo sucks so far. So that I will say, but it's early. It's early. Kurt Angle didn't start off good either. So
no. Mr. Stone and your boy Vaughn had a backstage segment. Go ahead.
Oh man, now this was segment of the year, baby. This is what you call fucking TV.
Okay. Blair Davenport attacked Roxanne Perez on NXT Level Up earlier in the week, and they're gonna have a match next week. So good. JC Jane got knocked the fuck out by Leah Valkyrie. Rhea Ripley.
Lyra Valkyria.
Rhea Ripley was impressed. So I guess they're going to have a match, JC and Valkyria. Main event time. NXT Championship match. The NXT Champion Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams versus the returning Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin.
He fucking marked out. I'm sorry. I marked the fuck out with his old theme, man. Love it. Haven't heard that theme in almost 8 years.
That was a good
7
theme.
years. Love that theme.
I also loved his second theme, I am the darkness. I thought that was pretty cool too, but it was good seeing Baron taking it old school. Hopefully it's back because Happy Corbin sucks.
Yeah.
But I got to eat crow. Baron Corbin had a good match. Yeah. He did good out there.
He's a good wrestler when he decides to put it on when he's motivated. He's a good wrestler when he's motivated, and this was a good match. This was a good match between the two.
I mean, when he has somebody in there who's a lot better who can lead him. But overall, Baron Corbin had a really good match. It was good storytelling. Nobody botched anything, at least from what I remember. A lot of the match was Corbin beating the shit out of Hayes and Hayes selling that he's going to lose. And Corbin had some big power moves, and Hayes just kept kicking out and surviving. It didn't get too silly to where it's like Corbin runs him over with his car and Hayes still kicks at it too. It was just like simple wrestling shit of Corbin doesn't throw him through the table, but just like smashes him on the table, and he's just like talking shit to the crowd like this is your boy, he's over. And then he has like 2 big power moves, and Hayes still kicks out. Eventually Hayes gets the win. So I can't complain. I mean, this might have been the best match I've seen Corbin have in a while. Matter of fact, it might even be the best match I've seen Corbin have, like period.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far, but it was the best match he's had maybe in the last couple of years. So yeah, for sure.
But good main event. What else can I say? Hayes getting the win like he deserved. And then the show ended with Braun Breaker yelling at Shawn Michaels in his office, and then saying that he'll have answers for next week. So, I don't know what that means. I don't know if maybe that's just him, ending his tenure in NXT and going to the main roster, whatever happens. But
he's going to have one last match in NXT at Great American Bash,
which is in Austin, Cedar Park, Texas, on July 30th. I'm thinking about going, but I don't know. But the tickets are still cheap. I think the most expensive tickets are like $40. So I don't know. I'm trying to see if I want to go or not. But NXT Gold Rush Week 2, good solid show, good matches. Overall, what'd you think about NXT Gold Rush?
Well, I was at the gym, but I did catch up. Well, I did watch a couple matches in the sauna. I was in the sauna for 30 minutes, so that was like 25% of the show. And I did see Thea Hale and Tiffany to start off the show too as well. So, but I'll give this show maybe like a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a very very decent show. There were some things, and I will say this was better than fucking Raw. I'll tell you that shit. There were some things that did advance as far as story is concerned, whether if you like it or not. You know what I mean? Like we ended up finding that Stacks screwed over Tony D'Angelo, right?
Mm-hmm.
We found, we're gonna have the Gable Stevenson and Eddie Thorpe, continuation there. We also had a great match with Nathan Frazier and Dragon Lee. You know what I mean? So, Andre Chase coming back there. So, I thought this show was more exciting. The better wrestling as well. Not to say that Raw's wrestling was bad. It was very good wrestling on Raw. Just the show was just boring. NXT was a little bit more exciting to watch. So there you go.
Can't argue. And ratings. I got the ratings here. Monday Night Raw from June 26 drew a 1.973, which is up from last week, and the highest rated show they've done since April the 3rd of 2023.
Do you have the demo numbers there? The demographic?
No.
Okay, well,
I'm currently on Fightful. Fightful has a lot of the ratings. Unfortunately, it does not have the demos.
Let me see. I think I have it here. Okay. 1.973 million viewers. Sorry. 0.61 demo. Number 2 in cable. In the 1849 for Raw.
SmackDown from June the 23rd. In their preliminary ratings, they drew a 2.25 million. In the final ratings, they drew a 2.354, which is down slightly from the previous week.
And there's a 0.61 in the demo, number 1 in cable, in the 1849 demo. So, and just to touch on this real quick, Rampage, 391,000, 0.11, 11th in cable, which is not surprising.
NXT from last night drew a 622,000, which is down over 100,000 viewers from the previous week when they drew a 773,000 viewers.
Yeah, so that was a 0.17. This is down, obviously not good, but that was number 2 among cable originals. Not number 2 in cable, just among the originals in cable on Tuesday. So this, it was down, but it was not due to a lack of quality, I think. So I think it was just due to a lack of not having Seth Rollins on the fucking show.
Right. Well, those are the shows, guys. Do you want to do news and then Money in the Bank, or do you want to do Money in the Bank and then just end it with news?
Yeah, we can do whatever. No, let's do the news first. Let's knock that out.
Not too much news. Nothing really scandalous, unless I missed something. But I only have 2 news articles, and I have another list thing, which we can probably save for later. Dave Bautista, or just Batista as we know him, reveals why he missed out on his WWE Hall of Fame 2023 induction. He says, I was in South Africa. I was supposed to go into the Hall of Fame, but I was on this film I was committed to. I couldn't get out of it. And yeah, Batista's a busy boy. He was filming My Spy, The Eternal City. The sequel to My Spy began production in South Africa in the early months of 2023, and later saw Batista and the company in Italy. Filming finally wrapped in May. As a result, Batista and WWE will now look toward the weekend of WrestleMania 40 to finally put Batista in the Hall of Fame if his busy schedule allows. Any thoughts?
Not really. I mean, obviously he's a Hollywood, actor, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. So these things tend to happen from time to time, and that's the reason why he didn't go into Hall of Fame this year. So maybe next year.
Randy Orton apparently is itching closer to a WWE return. It's said to be imminent. Kurt Angle on his podcast mentioned that Orton has recovered from the lower back fusion surgery he had in November and believes the Viper will be back in action soon now that he's feeling better and has been more active on social media. To add that, WRKD Wrestling tweeted that Orton is nearing his return and listed Saturday's Money in the Bank Premium Live event as possibility for his first appearance. It should be noted that there's been no other indication that this is for certain. For what it's worth, Dave Meltzer reported in April that Orton was nowhere close to stepping back in the ring, despite reports of him contacting his bootmaker to have new boots ready. His last match took place on May 20th, 2022, episode of WWE SmackDown, where he and Riddle lost the Raw Tag Team Championship match to the Usos. And was it really May 20th? Because I could have sworn it was on my birthday of last year.
I don't know. I don't remember the exact date.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was July 17th, and that was my birthday. But yeah, Orton apparently is going to come back. Good, because he's very missed at this point. I mean, especially with the crop of talent that's on the show. I had an idea for Orton, but we can save it for the predictions. But what do you think about Orton possibly coming back?
I just hope that he's actually healthy. I don't want him to come back if he's not healthy. Despite us being wrestling fans, we want to see him back and perform or whatnot. The biggest thing that we need to understand is his health. And if he's not fully healthy, if he's not fully 100%, I don't want to see him come back because I don't want to see him in a fucking wheelchair. But if he is fully healthy, if he can do this, if he can able to do the RKO multiple times and take bumps on the back, and he'll be okay, so be it. But his health is number one concern, and I just hope that he, if he does come back, I just hope that he's healthy enough and able enough to do, to do what he needs to do in the ring.
Exactly, and I'll save it for the review. But and lastly, it isn't really news. It's just Dark Side of the Ring, season 4. Have you watched any of the episodes yet?
I watched the Magnum TA one, and I watched the Sonny Chris Candido one.
What'd you think about them?
Good. They're both good. I mean, there weren't anything that I didn't know already. It's like I already knew all this shit already, so.
Right. The Chris and Tammy one was good. It's one of those things like I wish it was split into 2 episodes, but now I get why, because Tammy is kind of going through a legal battle right now, so for her to appear on a show and admit things that she's done in the past, it would kind of make her look bad. So, sure. I mean, at least I did. I already knew how bad she was, from back in the day. Just like how Cornette says, Sonny's a cunt. Right, but also the producers even said they tried reaching out to her, but her legal counsel advised her not to. So,
right.
The TA one was. I think the TA one is kind of the only one that didn't end on a sour note. Because again, he got into the car accident, but he was able to kind of make a life for himself outside of wrestling. Got remarried, had kids, so his had more of a happy ending. The Graham Dynasty, that was probably the craziest one. Actually,
I can imagine. I can fucking imagine. I mean, I'll probably watch at the shop tomorrow.
That and also the Don't the Clown one. Those are fucking nuts. But the Graham one, depressing. For obvious reasons. Mike or Jerry Graham, committed suicide, and then later on, Mike Graham committed suicide.
So it's kind of like another Von Erichs in a way, not as tragic. I mean, it's still tragic, but not as many suicides.
Well, it's kind of nuts because his son, who wasn't a wrestler, his son committed suicide.
Yeah.
And then Jerry's, I think his dad and his brother both committed suicide. So they have a family full of mental illnesses, unfortunately, and then. His daughter, Mike Graham's daughter, is, she's the only one left in the family, and she ended the show by saying, that, I'm here to break the cycle. I'm here to help. I'm here to raise awareness to this, and I forgot who was on the panel for the show. B. Brian Blair, I think. B. Brian Blair was on it. Wait, what was that?
Brian Blair!
There you go.
Shiggy baby.
And, a lot of the show was just, the show ended with, the suicide awareness hotline. So, again, one of those shows that was very heavy and depressing, but, the daughter just saying, I'm here to break the cycle. I'm here to, bring a better name to the family. So watch that definitely. The Doink the Clown one was nuts. I mean, Doink Matt Bourne lived an interesting life. He was in was it Mid-South, and he was teamed not Smoky Mountain, Mid-South. I'm sorry. Yeah, Mid-South. He was in a heel faction with Ted DiBiase and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah,
and it's funny because like I can't really imagine Hacksaw as a fucking heel. Even Mick Foley came on and he's like, who's gonna want to boo Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
I mean, even fucking Junkyard Dog was a fucking heel too. Big Daddy Ritter. Him and Jake Roberts had a fucking ladder match. One of the first ladder matches ever. So, I'll probably, if I get to meet, because Jake's coming this weekend, I'll probably ask him, how was it working? Being the innovator of one of the most well-known matches in WWE. Not in WWE, but it's in wrestling.
Which he was on that which he was one of the talking heads for the Junkyard Dog one. But yeah, the Matt Bourne one, again, just another episode. It was depressing, but it was one of those things that kind of ended on a good note. Matt Bourne, there was a story about why he got fired from Mid-South because Matt Bourne had a reputation for being kind of a hothead, and might have gotten it from trying to prove himself to his dad or maybe the people or whatever. But there was a point where, like, after the match, there's a fan that tried to start a fight with Jim Duggan, and Jim Duggan's he's kind of a big guy, and he ended up laying this guy out and just leave it at that. But like, Matt Bourne decides to come by and kick this dude in the fucking head so hard that he knocked out his eyeball, and they needed a scapegoat, so they fired Matt Bourne. I forgot where Matt Bourne went after that. I think he went to WCW, where he was like, he had some like gimmick where he was like a woodsman or something. I don't know.
Oh no, he went to no, he was in the first WrestleMania match. So.
Oh yeah, he wrestled Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah. Well, was it the first WrestleMania match? Well, he was in the first WrestleMania. I don't think it was the first match though.
I think
it was like the second match.
I don't know if his daughter said it was like the first match, but it was a part of the first WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually he went to WWF, and that's when they made him Doink the Clown. And as silly as the gimmick was, it got over because he was kind of this evil, Krusty the Clown type of character that scared the shit out of fans and kids alike. And he was on WrestleMania, but he got in his own way, and he ended up getting fired from the company because again, drugs and not showing up to shows. And then they still kept the Doink character, but they used Steve Kern and somebody else. I'm blanking on the name.
Brooklyn Brawler, and yeah.
No, I don't think it was Brooklyn Brawler. It was somebody else. He had like a Italian name. Blanking on the name. But,
Steve Lombardi.
Not Steve. It was like Angelo something. I don't know.
Well, Brooklyn Brawler was Doink the Clown for a little bit.
Okay, I'll just we'll move on. But it just ends with Matt Bourne just going through so much shit. Went to ECW and did the Born Again gimmick where he's half Matt Bourne, half Doink, but WWE sued him because like that's our intellectual property. But then Matt Bourne was like, well, I need residuals, A, B, C, and D. So I don't know how, but he was able to keep the Doink the Clown gimmick even in the indies. And there was a spot where like towards the end of his life, like he actually had a match against Jim Duggan at like a high school gym, and he tries to shoot on Jim Duggan, like he tries to actually hit him, and then Duggan just goes, "All right, we shooting or what?" And then Matt Bourne just like gets out of the match and like leaves and goes to the back. And there's speculation on how he died because they're saying it was drug overdose, which it was, but they're thinking there was foul play with the girlfriend at the time involved, which I don't want to like do like a point by point narration for people because we're already at the 3-hour mark. It's about to be midnight, so I'll move on. But the Junkyard Dog, same thing, ended in tragedy, but it's funny. I mean, I won't spoil too much because I want you to watch it, but it's funny because like there's a story where Junkyard Dog calls Ted DiBiase. It was apparently they were like really close, and this is when Ted DiBiase was like, going to schools and talking to kids, and Junkyard Dog apparently called Ted DiBiase and said, tell my story, and just make sure kids don't go down the same path as me. So, overall, really, really good episodes. I'm digging the episodes, really strong, solid ones. Next week is supposed to be actually not next week. The next episode won't be until July 11th, and it will be about Adrian Adonis.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's everything from me. What do you have?
I'm gonna go rapid fire on this one, due to the sake of time. Brian Nelson said he was gonna be out to 6 to 8 weeks. Actually, it's gonna be 10 to 12 weeks after seeing that his forearm is completely broken. So he'll be out from 10 to 12 weeks. WWE tried to Vince-proof some of the storylines. Triple H and I was gonna say Tony Khan, Nick Khan, are just trying to stop Vince McMahon from changing shows on the fly prior to Raw and SmackDown. Reason why we haven't seen Grayson Waller as of yet is because he broke his leg, and he broke his leg against Carmelo Hayes for NXT Championship. So that's why we haven't seen him, actually wrestle a match as of yet. So that explains that. Billy Corgan from the NWA clarifies comments regarding Tyrus. Says the NWA roster has never been stronger. Basically, long story short, says that I love my champion and we fucking suck. Next, FTR and Omega, the Young Bucks. This is according to Dave Meltzer, by the way, saying that they're all fine. Some people think it's a divide. With Punk and FTR against these guys. With Punk, there's still fence mending that needs to be done for them to work together and everything like that. It could happen. Whatever the fuck that means, I don't know. Then lastly, LA Knight says, I'm pretty sure I was going to get fired by WWE last year, and it just hasn't had officially happened yet. Without getting into too much details, some things just happened. I don't remember what it was, but some things happened. That was LA Knight via Insight. That's all I got.
All right. Now I'm gonna cut. I had two other things I kind of wanted to do, but I'm gonna cut them out due to shortage of time. We're gonna Vince this show. We're gonna cut out some segments. Vince is taking over this show. God damn it. So, Money in the Bank is this Saturday, July 1st at the O2 Arena in London. It will be the first pay-per-view. It will be the first WWE pay-per-view in London since Insurrection in May 2002. And also, since Insurrection in May 2002, and England in general since Insurrection June 2003. It will also be the first Money in the Bank to live stream on Binge in Australia. So any Australian fans listening to the show, congratulations. Money in the Bank, O2 Arena in London. Let's try to make this quick, just so we're not here longer than we should be. Alright, so Money in the Bank match. Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul.
Two people in this match that's probably going to win, or that is going to win, Damian Priest or LA Knight. I want LA Knight to win, but I'm going to predict Damian Priest just because of the fact that I think that this is what I think possibly may happen. Finn Balor wins against Seth Rollins. Damian Priest catches in that night, and that starts the split of the Judgment Day there. So, Logan Paul's, this match is going to be great overall. You got a lot of great talent in here, a lot of high flyers in here that's going to do risky shit. Logan Paul's going to, and Logan Paul's only in here because he's the big name in this match, so I don't really see him winning whatsoever. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but, I would not put it on Logan Paul whatsoever. But,
right.
Damian Priest is my prediction.
Yeah, we talked about this ad nauseum last week. I'm not necessarily mad that that Logan Paul's in the match. I think it's stupid how he got into the match, but I don't have a problem with it. Like, it adds I guess it makes people want to watch it. Whatever, that's the best thing I can put it. So he doesn't need to win. I definitely wouldn't hate it if he won, but he doesn't need to win. Damian and LA Knight are the ones who need this more than Logan Paul or really anyone else in the match, because they're the two most over guys in the match, especially LA Knight. So I imagine London's going to go nuts for LA Knights. LA Knights, Jesus Christ, for LA Knight. If Damian Priest won, I wouldn't hate it either, because I love Damian Priest. So, and we kind of ran over what we think could happen, last week, where let's say Damian wins, and then we got the Finn and Seth match, and Finn's just working on the ribs, and then Seth barely wins, and Finn kicks the shit out of Seth even more, but he has to be taken out of the arena by security, and that's when Damian cashes in. So I don't know, we'll see. But I'd be fine with either LA Knight or Damian Priest. But if I had to, gun to my head, LA Knight. I'll go with LA Knight. Money in the Bank ladder match for the Women's Championship. Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Io Sky, Trish Stratus.
Io Sky. If not, they're probably going to put on fucking Trish Stratus. It's one or the other.
I'm going to go with Io. Io seems like the best, the one who has maybe more hype in the match. More so due to the storyline she has going with Bayley, where Bayley is jealous of her. And Io's like, I need to get the fuck away from Bayley. With Trish, Trish has never had a ladder match, as far as I know.
This is her first ladder match.
So, it would be interesting if Trish won, because, it's Trish Stratus, and she's never won Money in the Bank. And, if she wins, it just shows that she's going to be here a little longer than we thought she was going to be. So, I can't really imagine her doing anything too nuts in this match, which she shouldn't, but it's interesting that she's in the match. But I'm going to go with Io Sky. Oh, you already chose your choices, right?
Yeah, I'm going Io, yeah.
Okay. Cody Rhodes versus Dominic. Singles match.
Cody wins. Crossroads.
Cody wins. At the end of the day, Dom wins, because this is only going to benefit Dom.
He's going to get booed out of the fucking stadium.
I'm going to love it. It's going to be awesome. Next is the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor.
If my scenario plays out, Finn Balor wins.
I'm kind of sticking with Seth barely wins, while he's dealing with his rib injury, and then someone cashes in, whether it's Damian Priest or LA Knight.
We're in agreement. We're in agreement. Someone's cashing in.
We're both going to agree that someone's going to cash in. The question is who. Next is WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Champions win. Let's continue. I don't got time for this. I don't got time to talk about this match.
Champions wins because I don't really give a fuck. We both agree we don't give a fuck. Next is Gunther versus Matt Riddle for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and a loser has to wear pants match.
What?
If Matt Riddle loses, he has to wear pants, because I'm tired of seeing his dick all the time.
Should be a good match. These guys are gonna, beat the shit out of each other, kill each other pretty much. If it gets time, it could be a very damn good match. Going with Gunther. Gonna go with Gunther in this match, for obvious reasons, and him to continue his long reign. But I expect this to be a very, very good wrestling match.
Should be a good match. I think they're going to get enough time, because it's a show in Europe, and it's going to be in London. They're going to fucking love it. Gunther obviously is going to win. Do you think this is when Orton comes out to, save Riddle and make his comeback?
Yep.
And then possibly we can get Orton versus Gunther?
I mean, maybe, yeah. I wouldn't, count that out. Or just Orton just turn heel against Riddle and they start their feud.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of seems like just the way to go, but I don't want that to happen. At least not now, but whatever. And then what's more than likely going to be the main event, the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and Sol Sequoia with Paul Heyman versus the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, in a Bloodline Civil War tag match. Question before you say anything. Is there like some kind of a stipulation with this, since it's literally labeled as a Bloodline Civil War? Is it just like that's just the name of the storyline, or is there an actual stipulation?
The branding for the match. There's nothing.
Okay,
it's just the branding for the match. This is a regular tag team match. Let me think. The Bloodline has to win. They're both the Bloodline. Roman and Solo has to win, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Roman and Solo.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. This is the hardest one to. Now, if the Usos win, that means Solo's getting pinned. Unless they shock the hell out of us and Roman gets pinned. That'll be like shocking if that does happen.
Right.
But
and you know what?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know what? It wouldn't shock me if Roman lobbied and say, I don't mind taking the pin from Jay, but again, for obvious reasons, I don't think that should happen.
No. So I will say this. If the Usos win, what will be next within the storyline? Roman starts to doubt himself, maybe he starts blaming Solo or something like that, right? But if Roman and Solo wins, then depending on how it's won, like if they just beat him clean, it's like then why would the Usos want to go back after Roman and Solo like you lost clean? So
right.
So I think so I'm gonna go with Roman and Solo. I mean, if I'm wrong, I don't give a fuck if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go Roman and Solo and just say that it's gonna end, kabuki-ish, very wonky, and for some reason to give either Jay a title match against Roman or have Jimmy a title match against Roman or something like that. But this match is gonna be very storyline heavy. There's gonna be a lot of dramatic stuff, which is gonna be great. But if people out there pick the Usos to win, I don't blame you. It's not like to me it won't what's the word I'm looking for? It won't surprise me like if the Usos end up winning.
I think what could happen is like you just said, it's gonna be very storyline heavy. I think what could happen is kind of like with Triple H and Batista, where Batista was Triple H's heavy, and the whole time Triple H is like, I'm worrying about me, I need you to back me up and protect me. And that's kind of what it's like. Like, you can do something where it's Solo alone in the ring with the Usos, and the Usos are just beating the shit out of him, and Roman's just like outside of the ring, like pretending to be hurt, but he's just like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not gonna take a loss, for you. And then while when Solo is getting pinned, Roman makes it look like he wants to climb back in the ring to win, but he's like, fuck it. You lost this match, not me. You know what I mean? Like, they can do something like that, and then Solo's like, why don't you have my back, Oos?
Yeah.
So, and that just, again, furthers another storyline you can do with this. You can do Roman and Solo sometime down the line, and you can do Roman and Jay at SummerSlam. You can do Roman and Jimmy, or you can do both. A 2-on-1 handicap match or a triple threat match. Fatal 4-way. There you go. Again, it just continues the storyline, which I'm hoping doesn't end anytime soon. And then while that's happening, you can pluck new members to replace the Usos in the bloodline. So, why the fuck not? But that's Money in the Bank, people. We did about 3 hours. It's already midnight here in San Antonio. And it's 1 o'clock, I'm assuming, depending where you're at. But, yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. This was a fun show. And I know we ran a little late than what we had hoped. Thank you, Maurice. And unfortunately, RJ couldn't make it. But hopefully he's able to make it next week. But anyways, guys, we are done for the night. And thank you for this, I guess, this new renaissance of the experience. New start time. And hope you guys had fun, because we had fun too. And what can I say? Shout out to everybody. Wrestling Soup, Breaking the Apocalypse, or Break the Apocalypse. Wrestling Court, Hammerlock Hangover, RJ and Monty, my boys, Ruben Prime. And if I'm forgetting names, I'm terribly sorry. But shout out to everybody. And of course, there's the Patreon. Patreon's only $5 a month. I do a show with Ruben, which we just did. Culture Attack. I did a show with RJ over the weekend for our Patreon. And pretty soon I'll be doing a show with Jeff Lippman for our podcast on Patreon. And it's only $5 a month to join up, people. And you can also catch me every Sunday on the Trifecta Threat with Monty and RJ. It's not live, it's pre-recorded. We record every morning on Monday, and it comes out later in the day, so check that out, guys. Like Mish says, I have 55 shows. So you can find me everywhere, people. But anyways, guys, take care. And, oh yeah, Justin, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, of course. You can find me on Instagram, Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. We're about up to like 1,300 followers there now. So,
Nice.
yeah. So we're really starting to break ground there. SpinebusterTees.com. The new mommy T-shirt, Rhea Ripley inspired T-shirts. You get that in black, white. I think I only have those in black and white right now. Maybe gray, too. I don't know. It doesn't look great. It looks okay on gray. But anyway. But yeah, check it out. SpineBusterTees.com. Also, as well, if you're in the Texas area, if you're listening to this after the fact, Texas area this weekend, San Antonio, Texas, Wonderland Mall of America, of the Americas. The Rock and Wrestling Part 3, I think they're calling it. Ted DiBiase, Jake the Snake Roberts, Buff Bagwell, IRS, Cheryl Roberts, all going to be there in attendance. July 1st and 2nd. Come check it out. It's going to be a very fun time. And come upstairs to Spinebuster Tees as well, and come check out the shop as well. But yeah, it's been a very fun journey so far. So yeah, again, SpineBusterTees.com. Check out the new merch on there, and if you guys have any questions, just hit me up on Spinebuster Tees on Instagram.
All right, you heard the man, people. If you're in the San Antonio area, if you're in the Texas area, if you want to make a trip, head over to Wonderland Mall of Americas and visit Spinebuster Tees.
Oh yeah, also as well, forgot about the YouTube channel as well. Spinebuster Tees on YouTube. I'm gonna start uploading. I don't know what kind of content I want to make. I don't know if I'm gonna make a content about like how to run a hobby store or whatever, but I don't know. Some will come to my mind, and I'll start uploading videos on there as well. But Spinebuster Tees on Instagram as well. Definitely check that out too. So,
and I should probably promote this more. The email for the show, the DrewYariShow@gmail.com. If you have any bookings, if you want to have me on your show, just get at me. The DrewYariShow@gmail.com. You can also find me on social media, Twitter, same handle. That's more for the show. I have an Instagram, but that's, I guess, it's kind of personal, but not really personal. But if you want to get at me, you can. I also have a Facebook page. So, but
and also, I think you can catch your podcast as well on like Spotify and Google Podcasts and things of that nature too as well. So
Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spreaker, of course. I'm also on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I used to do a lot on there, but not as much. But I'll try to do more. I'll try to do more on my YouTube channel. But YouTube is just weird about shit. But you can catch me on there. But like I mentioned earlier, I'm off all next week. So if anyone wants to do something, hit me up. Hit up your boy. But all right, guys, we are out. It is past midnight, and we're done, people. We'll see you next week, and enjoy the pay-per-view. Enjoy Money in the Bank, guys. Peace out.
Absolutely. Peace out.